Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kind of Funny's DCEU in Review. That's right, we are ranking and reviewing every movie in the DC Extended Universe. I'm Tim Gettys, joined by Andy Cortez.
Made this set a little Lisa Frank today. I barely realized
I like that. Yeah, with the dolphins and everything, too.
Yeah, good trapper keeper right here.
Real good. We got Kevin Coelho.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, you look comfortable.
I am.
We got Greg Miller.
Greg, your hair, phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is honestly the best I've ever seen in my life.
Bear, give me the one.
In my life.
Wherever the one is, I'll find it. So just go. There it is.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Look at
It's nice.
the lift. I love it.
Andy, your hair's looking pretty good, too.
Don't can I have a moment?
I like what you do.
Can I have a...
the one ruins it. Go back.
The one ruins it. Because we were saying the shark fin looks like it's part of my hair right here. Right? Look, Andy's got that hair. Nope, it's a shark fin.
I do Scarpino's here, too.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Nick, what I want to do is compliment you on your commitment to the costume.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a scratchy chest so you can't wear the bat suit anymore, but you still wear the bat suit as pants. You could just wear pants.
They're like my cover. What do they call the pull-up cover-ups?
Overalls?
Overalls that the firefighters wear, just in case there's a crime outside.
I saw you going like
I'll pull it
babies.
in.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Oshkosh Bagosh overalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, these, no, I mean, the thing is this. The only reason I wear it is to torture Tim, because if we all wear it, then he has to wear it.
Right.
Tim walked down the hallway today after putting that on, and he looked like when you put Porty in a costume that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
And he just sits
Walking
there.
funny.
Sad, head all down, ears down.
And that made it all worth it. That made
That made
the
this entire
potential
thing worth it.
skin rash that I have on my back totally worth it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's here. It's all worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is worth it, I hope. You can go to twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to watch it live. You can go to youtube.com/kindoffunny to watch it later. roosterteeth.com podcast services. Just search for Kind of Funny Reviews. You can get the show ad-free by going to patreon.com/kindoffunny, just like our Patreon producers did. The nanobiologist, Frank Furter, Mohammed, Justin Toft, Das Bear Jew, Black Motherfucking Jack, Jarrett Brown, and Jameson
Shafransky.
There we go. Nick likes that one.
Shafransky, I need those papers on my desk by 3 p.m. tomorrow.
What did I tell you about that Shafransky? You just cost the city millions of dollars.
Was it, give again?
Shafransky.
Shafransky?
Shafransky? Yeah.
Shafransky, I need your badge on my desk now!
Today, we are talking about Aquaman. Released on November 16th, 2018. Directed by...
Should we hold this kid longer? Yeah.
His eyes, though.
Also, how
they
that... Oh, God. Never mind.
Directed by James Wan. You might know him as the creator of Saw, the director of Saw, Insidious, The Conjuring 1 and 2.
Hell yeah.
A bunch of the other, Annabelle and a lot
Too
of them
scary
too,
for me.
as
No,
well.
thank you.
Furious 7. A lot of people said that this was his first superhero movie he directed. No, it was Furious 7. And then Aquaman 2. He will be directing a sequel that is in the works.
Aquaman will return.
Is in the works, December 16, 2022. And, ladies and gentlemen, there's a spin-off in the works, too. We'll
For
see.
who?
Called The Trench.
The Trench. Because
Oh,
they were
okay.
like, oh, that's popular.
Oh, I thought that was just the sequel.
Cool visual.
Yeah.
I thought that was the sequel. I thought the Trench was part 2.
No, it's not.
Oh,
They've always
freak.
talked about it as a separate movie.
You know
yeah.
how many people have talked about the trench. You can't go on Twitter and throw a rock and not hit somebody talking about the
Fucking
trench or
hashtag
Aquaman.
release the trench cut.
Yeah,
You know
where
what I
is
mean?
the trench?
Jeez.
You know what I mean?
A budget of 200...
Nick's always wanting to get in the trench, he says.
I like
Deep
to
in
dig
there.
out the trench.
Fuck!
You didn't
200...
You didn't have to.
You didn't have to.
have to.
It's
He
like
never
we made the
does, but
joke
he does
already.
anyway.
And then,
Ball went up, took a swing at it. You know what I mean?
This is why you don't understand the runner park bench relationship as we've talked about
I
before.
really don't. A budget of $200 million. Now, guys, here's some shit, though, okay? Budget of $200 million. All right? Box office. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Really good.
1.148.
Real fucking good.
Oh, I got it. Whoa.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You didn't just guess that.
$1.48 billion, making it the highest grossing DCEU film, the highest grossing film based on a DC Comics character, surpassing The Dark Knight Rises. And it is the 5th highest grossing film of 2018 and the 23rd highest grossing film of all time. It is right under Captain America Civil War and a total of 7 MCU movies.
All right.
My man.
A runtime of 2 hours and 23 minutes. It is, once again,
You feel it.
So
4
long.
movies in one.
I am
Holy shit.
obnoxiously
I am
long, this
so
movie.
thankful that while Greg was recording P.S. I Love You yesterday, I just watched it at my desk. And did it take several viewings? Yes, it did. And did we interrupt my viewings to go get in and out? We did. And I came back and I still had an hour left. It was just the longest
I kept
thing ever.
pausing and being like, 45 minutes.
The thing about this movie though is there are legitimately fun parts to this.
Yes.
I remember watching it for the first time thinking, actually, this is there's some cool stuff in this. The action I think is well directed.
Yeah.
It feels different than you've seen in other movies. He has a lot of fun with sort of like the scene that sits out in my mind is the scene in The Village where it's like dual planes of action and the things like bursting through walls,
going back and forth
Yeah.
between people like
I was
Donkey
like,
Kong
this is
Country,
cool.
Tropical
It
Freeze.
felt like an
dope as
Uncharted
hell.
cutscene, you know?
Yeah, super cool.
The thing
Looks like it at a lot of points too.
they just got
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like that's when the movie's at its best, is when it's like, we're not even going to try to make this look realistic. These are fucking crazy-ass action scenes. Let's put all that shit away. Let's do dope choreography.
They
and
could have
have
at
fucking
least,
fun
though,
with it.
shot on a real pier. It's all I'm saying. There's so many shots of the dead
Why is
standing
that
at
pier?
the most CG pier I've ever seen
the
in my
whole
entire
movie
life.
is so CG.
It's weird as hell.
Well, I
man.
get
but
that, though,
that-
because it's like you're underwater. It all has to be.
No,
CG.
not even
like-
that. I mean, like when they're sitting at the bar, the dad and son, and everything's like fucking CG out the windows. I'm like, just compare this to Endgame when they're sitting in the diner with the Smart Hulk. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
looks like a real thing. I believe that scene. I do not believe this for a second.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
This is my first time watching it. I got a bone to pick with everybody on the internet. All right.
We didn't tell you how good the soundtrack was. Mr. Worldwide in there, Africa cover. You kidding
Pitbull,
me?
yo. They
Africa
fucking
cover.
played a Pitbull Africa cover.
I got so bamboozled with this movie, man. You all tricked the hell out of me. Everybody said that, oh, this one was super fun. This one's up there with Wonder Woman as like one of the more fun movies. This movie fucking sucks, dude. This movie stinks. I couldn't believe how angry I was at a lot of just different points of dialogue. I was telling Tim, it reminds me of just, this movie is anime where the action's sick as hell to watch and everything else is just useless.
There's
Like the
yeah.
comedic lines don't work. Any sort of lines of dialogue don't work. Who wrote this? Fuck, man. This movie is bad, dude. I hate this
You
movie.
said that probably in between your second and third sittings of watching this movie when we went to In-N-Out, and you were telling me as we were walking, you're like, dude, it is just an anime. The dialogue is so bad. The story's horrible. So much exposition. Going back after I started watching it for my second part of viewing this, with that in mind, I'm like, I enjoy this more based on looking at this as an anime, which is not a compliment.
But like that's how I remember the first time I watched it. I was like, man, they're trying to be bad because the dialogue is so bad. It feels like it's pulled out of like an '80s, like one of the.
It feels like an
Nick
80s
movies.
action movie.
Yeah.
For
But it
sure.
also
a
feels
part
like
where
a
he
Disney
goes-
Channel original movie. Like the beginning part where we're trying to set up that Nicole Kidman is this fucking queen. She's here and she puts a goldfish in her mouth and he walks over. He's like, I was going to make you sausage. And then she goes,
Eggs.
she like, whatever. She pulls
Show
it
some
in.
respect.
It's like, what
Just don't eat the dog.
in what worlds would dialogue like that happen?
I was telling Tim she reminded me of like Donnie from Wild Thornberries,
It's
where
so
she's
accurate.
like this little creature on a couch, like, "Meh," like what? Why? She's just she's royalty. She's a queen.
She
why
washed
is she
up on
acting like?
shore. She has no idea where
Stabbed.
she is. She
She was
sees some
stabbed.
food. She's starving.
But you
But
have
she's
ever
on
heard-
the couch like. "Meh."
Ever heard
Like,
Ben
what?
on the surface before? Why does she eat the roses? Why does he eat the roses?
Listen,
It's a
again,
cute
How
moment.
long has Amber Heard been on the shore? We don't know. You
5
know what I mean?
minutes.
She
No
comes
idea.
up
She
doesn't know
there.
what rose is.
Remember
She's seen a
again,
flower.
as I gave you homework. Remember that Justice League scene? How many things are retconned in this movie that make
Oh,
no
God
sense?
damn. They're just like, fuck it. Like,
I don't even know your
is
name.
this
Didn't
even a
we meet in
DCEU
Justice
movie?
League? This guy's never been to the Atlantis. Didn't he come down here to get it? I see you have your mother's Trident, but it's the Trident. So I came down to get a Trident from you, and then you're saying this is Nicole Kidman. She left at the house, or Willem Dafoe gave it to us. And so, like, what did I come down here exactly? How did I know to get you? How did I know?
James
anything?
Wan straight up said, I don't care.
Good. Just
No,
sucks.
it's not good.
Right, release the Snyder Cut. Maybe it'll explain it there. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah.
Don't doubtful. You guys don't understand the Snyder Cut.
Like,
You
what did
showed
they
that
tell
last week.
What did they tell these actors to act like? What?
They said,
the-
Jason, go have fun. He said, all right.
I mean, yeah, Tim and I were walking
right.
yesterday, and I just thought we were saying this movie is so many different movies,
Yeah.
where there's so many different lines of dialogue that totally are totally just opposite of what happened before, where they were trying to be meaningful before, and now they're trying to be MCU. This movie wants to be Thor Ragnarok, and it
moments.
just fails
Only at moments.
everywhere, dude. The
Yeah.
action's sick. That's all I'll say.
Action is sick.
The-
But
yeah.
the scene, to
I
your
thought-
point, the desert scene, the entire desert scene.
Redheads.
Oh, redheads.
Gotta
They
love
just fucking FaceTime into the sand,
Holy
which
shit,
doesn't
dude.
make sense.
It's like,
But
what are
then-
your powers?
But then they pop up and they just start walking, and then the score turns into this fucking shitty Disney movie of do do
Yeah.
do 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 do, and I'm like, where's Robin Williams, cartoon genie, gonna pop out right now and start talking to them? Like, how is this Aquaman?
I don't get this movie. Just baffles me, dude.
Pretty
to look
I
at.
was just gonna say the first time I watched it, I really enjoyed it, just because it was like not what I expected. Watching it again, I was like, oh man, there's a lot of movie left, and that just kept happening over and over. I paused it at one point, and it was an hour and 40 minutes. I was like, well, that can't be right.
It's
yeah,
bad.
the second viewing, I didn't enjoy anywhere near as much.
Infamously, when this movie first came out, Kevin got in a screaming fight with all of us, trying to tell us that this was a good movie because it's a comedy.
No, that's not what I said. I said, and I don't typically like bad good movies, but I was like, this movie is trying to be bad, and it succeeds.
Yeah, from my perspective, I definitely don't think it was trying to be bad. I think they were trying to make like a fun MCU type movie. I just feel like they threw everything and the kitchen sink into this, and they just didn't need to.
Traditional thing of like Black Manta. Like, why is
Black Manta in this movie? Like, set him up, sure. Give us like, oh, that's the guy that's going to be Black Manta, but he's like a main villain in this, and then just gets the shit beat out of him. There's no point to it.
He pops up twice. He should be a main villain. He pops up twice, and then at the end, where Randall Park is suddenly like, "Remember that Easter egg from before? I'm still here."
He's such a good actor because he's
Randall
in
Park,
Watchmen.
he's amazing.
No, he was in Watchmen. The guy who played
Randall
Black
Park.
Panther.
Oh, that
Watchmen.
is that guy.
Phenomenal. Yeah, super good. But he's just like
Terrible in this.
he's awful in this.
So they should have cut all of that. The stuff with the 4 kingdoms didn't work because it's super confusing as to what's going on. You're like,
Well,
why are there 4 kingdoms?
But there
and
isn't.
who
There's
are there?
7 kingdoms, and 2 of them are gone.
But the
And it's like,
the
what?
crab people. I mean, it's
Dude,
basically Gimli running into there.
We were talking. I'd have stopped the movie last night to make fun of it when they're like, "Yeah, but we grew too power hungry or whatever, and the thing that was gonna save us destroyed Atlantis, and it gave us the ability to breathe underwater, and it
And then
turned
we
some people
evolved.
into monsters, and it degraded other people, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Wow!
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff for that one thing. That
King
stuff should have
Atlantis
been.
went and lived in exile. Like,
The thing is, I forget the actor's name. I like the guy that plays his brother. I've liked him
Patrick
in a lot.
Wilson.
Yeah, I've liked him in a lot of
From-
stuff that he's been in.
Conjuring.
He's been in a ton of stuff.
Watchmen,
Conjuring,
didn't
honestly. He was in. Yeah, that's right. He played Owl, right?
Yeah.
Or the Night
Yeah,
Owl.
oh yeah, that's true.
Conjuring.
I think he's a good
Which,
actor.
if Tim's not a coward, we will do in review one
How
day.
many times do they say Ocean Master?
A lot.
But if you get the title of Ocean Master,
So
you're
that,
too
is that his
powerful.
name in the comics?
Yeah, that's his
okay.
villain.
I
yeah.
just the confusing aspect for me, and the first time I watched this, I was like, I just don't care because I have to watch this eventually again.
And then at the end, the crab person actually has a whole bunch of lines and
Yeah.
close-ups where it's like, I'll never bow to you.
You're like, are we supposed to care about this fucking character? And then not only that, but right when this guy's about to die, we're like, oh, I guess we're supposed to care about this king. And the Trident comes through, and then the big Kraken comes through and fucking murders everyone on both sides. Did you notice that? Oh
yeah.
Like the people that were supposed to root for, everyone dies.
So many casualties.
And then Aquaman's riding
Serenity.
them. And you're like, hell yeah, mommy. Like the thing about it is
Hell yeah, mommy.
the thing about this.
man.
The thing about it is like, Jason Momoa is actually very charming to
I love
watch. in
him.
Oh,
this.
yeah.
And I don't think he's the best actor, but what he lacks in actual like range, I think he makes up for in just like silliness and fun
gusto.
to watch,
Sure.
right? And I think given a few more movies, he can really, I think he'll grow into this character. And the character itself is actually kind of fun. It's just the movie tries to do 15 different stories when it just needed to make a silly 1 hour and maybe 45-minute, maybe 50-minute movie.
Nah,
and then
45
just
is good.
take 45 minutes out of this, and it's a fun. Hey, that was cool.
20 minutes for the credits.
Like this, yeah. This movie should have been like Ant-Man 2. Like it
Yeah.
could have hit on that level, but instead
Another
we
Randall
get
Park jam.
There was one
exactly.
There was
God
one
bless
moment
Randall
of
Park.
of shining hope where I had hope for this movie, and it was a small piece of dialogue, but I keep on remembering it because I wanted the movie to be more like that, where what's her face, Mirena? No, that's my roommate.
Mira?
Mira. Where Mira walks up to him and she's at the truck and she's like, "We need you," and he's like, "You don't need me. Why do you?" This very very beginning of the movie, and
she's
she
like,
goes,
"You fought off
she goes,
Steppenwolf."
You need to be our king," and he goes, "Look at me, I'm not a king," and she goes, "Yeah, we know that," and he goes, "Oh, awesome, cool." And he kind of just walks back to his car, and I was like, "Oh, Momoa gets it. This is gonna be like he's gonna portray this character in a really fun way, and it's gonna be relatable because it's this guy who is totally in over his head. He has no business being here, but he's got to do this anyway. But he's kind of backing
character
off.
growth. He'll have his growth.
And I was like, oh, that's a cool little back and forth. And then the movie just immediately shoots down where the movie just stinks, man. It's a stinker, dude.
I like
this movie's a stinker.
there's a line at the end where he's like, where she's trying to talk him into like going to get the Trident. Maybe he has the Trident. I don't know. She's trying to talk him to go to get the Trident or something, right?
gives a fuck?
They're on a fucking boat. First off, why the fuck are you on a boat? You both can breathe underwater and swim
reals.
super fast. That's weird.
They're not going to be looking for them in a boat.
Yeah, of course not. That makes sense. And she's like, you need to be our king. And
He was
goes,
knocked out, too.
And he goes like this, I'm a blood instrument. I solve all my problems with my hands, and I'm real good at it. But this is a problem I can't solve. And you're like, cool. That was, I think, directly quoting Tango and Cash from 1987.
It's so many moments like that I thought you would love.
It's one of those things where like
to come aboard. Boing.
Momoa is not the best actor, but when you give him really fucking horrible dialogue, it amplifies how bad this whole thing was. And it's unfortunate because like we talked about before, there are really cool moments. The action stuff, Permission to Come Aboard, dumb. That fight scene, fucking awesome.
Every single fight scene in this movie, I think
Really
every
cool.
single one is fantastic.
They somehow made the underwater Trident fight scene cool too. I was
Real
like, this is
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I like this.
I think the fight scenes were like 99% cool, but there are some of them where they experimented a little too much with the camera.
Dude, you talking about the Nicole Kidman one in the beginning?
I mean,
I like that.
Oh, I love that.
It was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
I loved that. I'm talking about like the moments that I think about. I always go back to the Hobbit fucking barrel scene where like it's neat and it's fun to watch, but then they cut to GoPro footage in the water.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa,
Why?
that looks awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, James Wan does some weird like. He did a couple shots where like the camera is like kind of mounted on something
it's
and it's
running
like
with
following
them.
them,
Yeah.
and it reminds you of I'm feeling out of control, that music video.
Yeah, I remember
Hoopa
you talking
stank, man.
Yeah.
Hoopa
He does
stank.
have one cool shot though where he does the thing where the camera turns as they flip the guy.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah,
that was
all right,
awesome.
I like
that
that.
was cool.
I thought it was really weird they got Willem Dafoe in this and
God.
Nicole Kidman.
Gave him the best dialogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm fucking Willem Dafoe.
But it's
I
like
hate everything.
I totally understand. They were like, "Hey, we definitely watched Kickboxer, so we have to have like we love that movie, Jean-Claude Van Damme, fantastic. And let's
course.
definitely have
Cool.
flashbacks to show how he trained."
Different than Bloodsport, right?
Definitely,
Yeah.
Bloodsport had the one with the sand in the eyes.
That's what I'm thinking of, Bloodsport. Yes.
Yeah.
So they showed flashbacks to how Kickboxer. They never showed how he trained, but they showed flashbacks in Bloodsport to how he trained, and like it was cool. And you're like, "Oh, that's great." In this one, I'm like, I did not need any of this. I don't need to see him, a young teenage Jason Momoa, trying to figure out how to do the twirly
Well,
thing.
you're spinning that thing real slow and it's starting to suck up water. This seems like if I had 4 minutes to stop
I
an
could probably
attack, this
figure
would be
this out.
helpful.
Yeah.
Like, I got-
So like the Willem Dafoe character was useful. That should have been the Amber Heard character the entire time. It's that I mean like useless. Excuse me, not useful. I think that he could have been out. The Nicole Kidman, all that story could have been told in like 2 minutes because she is not good in this movie.
But what about
No.
Django, what about Django Fett, bro?
Django Fett? The dad and him I thought had a good relationship, and I think that's where they should
You
have
didn't like
focused.
him going away to the pier?
You didn't like him all
I
young
like
in
that.
CGI?
pier
Terrible,
stuff.
terrible CGI.
Is it a wig? I don't know. We're wigging out with Scarpino.
my god! Oh my
That wig was awful.
All the wigs
Yeah.
are awful. The
Amber
only
Heard
person that has
was-
normal, like real hair in this is Jason Momoa.
Yeah. And it's
Amber Heard's
awesome.
I don't know if Amber Heard's was a wig because it had a decent enough hairline, but it was definitely extensions, and it fucking kills me. It kills me when they make the hair that red. Because it looks totally fake. It looks like she dyed her hair underwater. Then they go, "Oh, her dad's got to have red hair too and a red beard." What the fuck are
Dolph
you
Lundgren,
doing?
baby.
Dolph Lundgren again, another character
Redheads.
didn't need to be in this movie
He
at
was
all.
great.
Yeah.
Totally should have been cut out of this movie. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Totally confusing to me because I was like, "Is that his dad? Is that the other guy's dad? Or who the fuck is Dolph Lundgren? Are Amber and him brother and sister?
You can tell
how many
all them
kings are
wearing
in
the
this?
exact same colors.
Who
the
is
same hair color?
Who is the guy's dad?
He
The
must
he's
be
Ocean
dead. Yeah,
Master's
he must be
dad.
dead.
He's dead.
So we've never met
Isn't he
this
the
guy,
guy
right?
on
No.
the thing.
He's not
No,
Atlanta.
No.
Or
No,
Atlantis?
that was
that's
like
way a
that's-
thousand
yeah,
years
an ancient
earlier.
king.
Super confusing.
true
Okay.
king
The
until
dad's
the new era
hair,
will
I'll
come
give him a
down and
pass
get it.
because it was a flashback and he's
King.
bald now.
And there
I
was
get
like,
that.
oh yeah.
But
okay.
Nicole Kidman's fucking Rastafarian, like blondie dread wig in this is atrocious. And they put her in a weird predator costume
Yep, I
midway
was gonna
through
say.
with the crab hand. I'm
Dude,
like,
when
who
she-
saw that? It was like, yes, this is the costume
when she
we're gonna go
throws
with.
it down the crab hand, it's like the fakest looking and
So
sounding thing. And then
stupid.
she has this moment of like reuniting with him, and she walks up with a fucking shark fin on. It's like nobody needed this. You didn't need
No.
the visuals. Have her suit just
But
be
also,
ragged. Like we
she's
get
never
it.
met him, right?
No,
Or
but
like,
like,
you know,
mother-son connection.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She remembers him from when
Yeah.
he was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah, they like remember there's the whole like she's reading him, she was telling him stories and shit.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
but
You're
she
right.
is
Yeah.
an, no, I thought you meant as an adult.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
many
yeah.
how many kids, like half Earthling, half water kids, you gonna
Yeah,
you gonna
she-
meet down
she
the
was-
fucking trench?
he's the true king.
My
so-
biggest thing is like, there's a lot of people that have Aquaman level strength, right?
in
The
this-
DC
in
universe,
Atlanta.
Yes.
everyone.
But here's the thing: like, why didn't they get more of those people for Steppenwolf to fight him? I feel like 20 of those guys would
because
have.
they don't care about the surface dwellers. That's their problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, here's a better
And
question.
remember,
Kevin.
again, like Amber Heard and Justice League, I guess, had to meet privately and quietly and not tell Jason Momoa her name because that was something that also got brought up in this movie, and then also bring him his suit of armor because they knew he was the Half-Blood Prince, but they didn't know how it would actually play out in the thing because that's why they did it.
Well, the Half-Blood Prince.
That's good.
Getting better. I'm getting
Way
better.
It's 2% better. the other big question I have is if you've got all these people that are that badass, why can't you find a couple of them that are, I guess, royal born that can breathe above land so they don't have to wear those stupid suits that are clearly a giant handicap for fighting
Remember
people?
when the dude, like, his suit breaks and
Goes
he
in
has
the
to stick
toilet?
his head in the toilet?
What happened to
What
that
a
guy? Is
funny
that guy just in the
He's
toilet?
just there. He's just
what
there
a comedic
still.
beat. That was such a cute, funny moment. I got a lot
Did
of
that make sense to anybody, though?
Oh my
Because I was
God.
struggling with that
Who-
myself.
who is
I
that?
guess it was a different race of Atlantean, or it was from a
No,
different
no, no.
kingdom.
The royal born can breathe air, too.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Only
it.
the royal born.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone else has to keep their
How's
asses
that
in the
so?
water.
Willem
Is there
Dafoe.
Because when the thing
Okay.
blew up, some people can breathe underwater, but some people can't breathe
Some people
underwater.
became crabs.
Greg,
People became crabs, some people
here's
became
why
fucking
that's so,
horrible
because they
creatures.
said it.
Gotcha.
Because they went into that
They
little
said
air pocket,
everything.
and Willem Dafoe just said
Let's
the
get
thing.
into the plot. Let's get into the plot.
I
you know?
do really just
Okay.
want to complain about the suits in this. I wanted to say game.
It looks like a game at times,
because
for
what
sure.
it reminds me of is a '90s movie that they made from a video game, right? And like the enemy suits look hella VR Troopers Beetleborgs.
yeah.
It's like
it's just terrible. It looks
to me,
so
it looked like a
bad.
newer version of the Intel like guys. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, there was
The Intel guys.
The other thing that struck me as kind of off for this was there are moments where, first off, the visuals are way too much. They're way too
I
over
like
the fucking
them.
top. It's way too colorful. It's really difficult. Anything underwater is difficult to see what the fuck is going on or figure out what's going on because
Ah,
it's
it's
just
pretty, though.
the nature of it.
I thought it was
But
pretty.
there are moments where it's like they're trying to make underwater cool, and there are some moments where they come close to succeeding. But then it's also they back it up with a weird sci-fi soundtrack where you're like, what fucking tone are we going? Are we going for Tron Legacy here? Because that's what it
They
feels
saw
like.
Ragnarok,
You're right.
and they're like, we saw Black Panther and we saw Thor Ragnarok. We're like, I don't know. We need to do something. We need to make a
them
world
both.
people believe in, but let's do them both.
I thought that was my hair again for a quick second. Got tricked again.
Remember when the seahorses had to face off against the sharks?
Remember when all the ships look like fish? Because that makes sense, right? They're underwater, so all the ships should look like fish.
As a kid,
Except
I
it's
would've
really
been-
confusing because there's fish around them too.
As a kid, I would have been blown away by this movie. Like the
Well,
different
that's probably why it made
factions,
1.4 billion.
the different factions of everything, like the crab people, and then people using sharks.
When
and
you
some people
see
using
dinosaurs in the
seahorses.
center of the world,
What was
they
that?
go to the center of the world
And there's
you know that
fucking
'cause they give
waterfalls
you-
underwater, which
and giant crystals.
science with Kev
Science, science, science with Kev.
I'm Kevin.
really happens. Here we go. The underwater waterfalls aren't just magical effects dreamed up by writers. It's an actual thing with science behind it. Different temperatures of water flow at different rates and can make ice cold water from above shift into a waterfall into deeper, warmer waters.
Where'd you get this copy from? Like some PBS?
Dude,
Sounds like a
was-
kid's.
I was
What'd you
telling
say?
Greg Miller that it was hard to find facts for this goddamn movie.
That fact
man.
reads like it's on the back of a kid's,
The-
kid's cuisine.
the only-
Microwave
the
meal.
only
With
other fact
science behind it.
I have is during the duel between Arthur and Orm, an octopus plays a drum solo. According to writer and
With
director
tribal
James Wan,
tattoos.
this octopus is Topo, Aquaman's octopus sidekick from the 1950s, who was able to play musical instruments.
Definitely
One-
not something anyone ever wanted to see.
Juan was initially unsure about putting Topo in this movie, but was inspired to do so after watching Mad Max Fury Road. And he said, if that film could have a guy playing a flaming guitar, I'm going to have an octopus drummer in mind.
I think James Wan needs to
One was
take
so
a
much
step
cooler
back.
than the other.
And then, Greg, you brought up this little fun little tidbit.
It's the weirdest thing. And I say this like I've watched Aquaman 100 times. I watched it once in the theater. I was like, and walked out. When Amber and him go down to get in her ship that she hid in the shipping container, there's all that garbage. Annabelle, front and center, right in the center of the frame.
he
sitting
always
there.
puts them in his movies.
Yeah.
It's dope.
I don't like that.
Every one of the, me in general, was like, oh my God, that's Annabelle. Because we like The Conjuring, and that's why we're going to do Conjuring and
So
review
The
right
Conjuring is in the DC universe?
Apparently.
So you can count those movies as being in it. Where do those rank?
That's awesome. We
Much higher.
Aquaman's
Way
got to
higher.
get put into the
Way
Conjuring
higher?
cinematic universe when we get
Got
there.
it.
Yeah.
Plot.
Because we're underwater.
Yeah, I
you know?
got it.
We start in 1985. And as Jason Momoa tells us, you put 2 ships in the ocean, fucking whoever, Charles Darwin, or whoever
Jules
said,
Verne once wrote. I was like, what
Yeah.
the? I was like, I looked at that quote. I was like, what does that mean? You put 2 ships in the ocean with no tide and no sails, and they'll eventually meet each other. I was like, no, they won't.
That's what my
There's
mom
no
and
guarantee
dad
that'll
are
happen.
like. And so yeah, we got fucking what's his name? Django Fett there,
Django
right?
Fett.
And he's just like, man, there's a storm coming. He looks out there. He's like, oh, there's a woman on the rocks. And he goes down there. And he's like, oh, this woman needs help. She's got a small cut on her rib cage. He brings her up. He's like, oh, don't eat this woman, dog.
Every sentence starts with "oh."
Nicole Kidman in that. Nicole fucking Kidman.
Nicole
Kidman.
Oscar-winning
Why is she here, man?
for
Dude,
best actress.
She has to hold that trident, man. Unconscious.
Yeah, exactly. I saw
Latched
that too.
on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been there. You know what I mean?
No.
One time I passed out at Poe's house, and I passed out with the beer bong in my hand, and like they couldn't get out of my hand. So I believe it. You know what I mean?
My
Like, I
brother,
believe
my
it.
brother used to
You
pass
have
out
to
with
be like, hey,
cigarettes.
we need the beer bong. Grab the beer bong. He won't let go of it.
It's like Thor's hammer. So they bring her up, they put her there. She wakes up for a hot second, and she tries to choke out Django Fett. And he's like, I forget how he gets out of this. or whatever.
you're choking me.
Martha.
And then she passes out, and they put her on the couch, and she's got a cut, and he wraps the cut up, and she wakes up, and she's like, oh, and then and then like she sees a goldfish and a dog, and she eats the goldfish, and he's like, this is your egg line you wanted so bad, you know what I mean? And like, hey, I was gonna make you some eggs,
But I made you tea instead. You've never had warm
Here's tea. It's hot. And I knew you were about to wake up, and she blows, and he blows, and they blow. And
Like
then-
I expected an audience to clap and laugh, like a studio audience.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
totally.
Like
I
he
made
looks
you
at the
eggs.
camera. Like a light does the
But you
fourth
don't
wall
get that.
break.
It's
Man.
more Momoa talking us through what's happening, right? That in fact, she was betrothed to somebody. She ran off. It was a whole brouhaha. But she's come here, washed up on surface, and she found love. And there she is, just pregnant in bed with him. You know what I mean?
Time for a montage.
Montage, and they are gonna have a man fish baby. You don't know what top. Is
this
the top
had
gonna be man? The bottom gonna be fish.
If
Fish
this
gonna
had
be
been-
top, man. On bottom,
If
nobody
this
knows.
not a Full
fish.
House style like TGIF sitcom, do you think they would have put like her constantly trying to eat the dog?
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
he opens the door, she's like
Alf?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, okay, yeah, exactly like Alf.
But they build a nice little life here in the lighthouse. You know what I mean? And
Cute
she
dog,
she
man.
introduced herself as Queen of Atlantis, and then he was like, I'm whatever his name is, keeper of the lighthouse. And I was like, that's a funny line. You know what I mean? And then we go through, and in Aquaman, he gets born, and he's a little baby, and they take a photo, and then he keeps getting older, and she's telling him she has a little oyster fork, and she's talking about tridents, and giving him the history of Atlantis here. You know what I mean? Of Atlantan or whatever the fucking king's
Really
name.
giving us the history of Atlantis.
But it's happening so flawlessly, you don't realize she's really teaching us.
Atlan,
You're
right?
right.
Atlan, is
Atlan,
that
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. But her name's what? Atlantia?
Atlanta?
And it's like, come on, guys.
It's
you know what
so
I mean?
hard,
Atlanta Braves.
and everyone looks exactly the same. I
Remember when that
legitimately
racist
thought
picture was on the Braves?
John Rocker. He would run out to the field every time. If you're at home, guys, just search out John Rocker running to the field. He would sprint.
Oh
The
my
fastest you
God.
ever seen. He was super racist.
Yeah.
Super
Remember when
racist.
that was a news story?
Yeah.
Somebody's racist. That would be on the news.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, my God. Anyways. They're all having fun with their oyster forks and stories or whatever, with the whatnots and fishes. And then, the dog's like, because dogs always know before an Atlantean disaster. And it's like, the wall. This is the first of
many explosions.
convenient explosions. Line ends, something happens. Like, Jesus, everybody's got a concussion, no eardrums.
Fucking Beetleborgs walking.
Yeah.
Right? The Beetleborgs come in, they're like, I'm like, oh, fuck, they're here for me. Hide the fish, baby.
For a second, I was like, are they real? Like,
Why do they
are
wait
humans
so long?
underneath there? Or is it just water things?
No, they couldn't breathe above water,
Yeah.
that I missed, apparently.
But like, why did they wait like 3 years to get her?
Oh,
they're
tracking.
trying to find her.
There was another scene they cut out where she went down and dipped her toe in the water and went, and then everybody's like, Atlanta's like, fuck, Queen's toes
Did
in the
y'all
water.
ever watch the movie Star Kid?
Yeah.
With the
The robot
John
suit?
Rocker?
yeah, the robots,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
90s
yeah.
one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you mean Starman with
Yeah,
Jeff
so
Bridges.
The costume in
movie.
that reminds me a lot of the costumes here, where
Yeah.
as a kid,
Remember
I'd be
the
so
face on
into
the inside of it? That was
scared.
so
It was
weird.
So gross.
You think you kissed him every once in a while?
No, thank you.
Someone better at Photoshop than me screen cap this and then put another head of whoever you want on Tim's flash suit. So it looks like they're like on a motorcycle.
Tim, wrap your arms around it.
He already is. It's already wrapped around. Like they're driving a motorcycle.
Hold on.
It looks like you have a small child in your lap.
So they hide our kid. Django Fett, and Django Fett runs in, puts in the kitchen, and puts like a wicker basket in front of him. He's like, all right, that's good enough. And then this fight scene starts popping off, and they're like, do whatever. And she looks at him and she starts doing cool moves. And it's
awesome.
fucking
It's cool,
awesome.
yeah, she
fucking
kills them
awesome.
all.
They're blowing the shit out of this lighthouse. They're
Yeah.
just fucking
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
destroying this lighthouse.
Can you imagine the insurance? Like, what happened?
There was a storm.
Fucking destroyed.
There was a storm. At one point though, he walks into the coat closet and turns on the light, and there's her Trident and tosses that to her. She starts fucking people up with the Trident or whatever, right? And there's all fucking fighting and doing all this stuff. It's like, yeah, blah blah. They must hate him or something. I forget. And eventually, she's in another situation of like, fuck, you got me. All right. Oh, no, that's right. They fucking kill everybody or knock everybody out or whatever they do. And it's like, hey, guess what, though? They're going to keep coming. Like, I am the queen. I was betrothed to this dude. I got to go back to the water. But come here to this pier every day at sunrise. And one day I will come. To which I'd be like, can't you just come up to the house and ring the doorbell?
Yeah.
Like, I understand. You understand I'm not a
This
morning
is cool
person.
imagery.
I have a
Yeah.
cell phone now.
Yeah.
Just
Not
call
even
my
that. I
cell
mean,
phone.
like, also I can look from the top. Just look up. No,
I want to be honest to you right now with you guys.
I'm glad you're about to be honest.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys and all the viewers. I don't remember seeing what happened to her, like when she got caught.
We
No,
didn't see
she
it.
didn't get
She
caught.
never
I
got
think
caught.
She jumps
It
back in the
happened on
water.
camera.
She jumps
yeah,
back in the
she's
water.
like,
and
I'm
there's
gonna
a
go
mystery
back
to
and
it.
talk to him. I'll be back. Don't worry about it.
Because there's the
Like,
part later on where they're
2
like,
days,
"Oh
maybe.
yeah, they sacrificed her. They killed her." And I
Well,
was like,
that's later.
Fuck, did I miss? That?
Right,
What was
right,
I
right.
No, it's
doing?
very confusing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because everyone goes, she's dead. And
So
everyone's
we'll
really?
just toss it in there. Remember what happens is Willem Dafoe keeps coming back to train little Arthur Curry, right? And he's like teaching him the spinning move, and he's teaching him about tridents and shit. And he's already, and he's like, you get
Yeah,
to see
swim.
your mother when you're ready to see your mother.
Instead of being like, hey,
About to
she
break down.
died,
And then eventually he's all. I'm just putting it all out here right now. And another cutscene or a flashback later on, right? He's like, "Fuck this, man! I don't understand why you're teaching me this spinny water thing. I want to meet my mom." And he's like, "Your mom's dead, man. Like they sacrificed her. They threw her in the trench and shit because she had you, basically. And then
bad
she's
acting.
dead because
Bummer,
of me.
dude.
Why would I take care of all these Atlanteans? You know what I mean? And Willem Dafoe's like, fuck it, I don't know, man.
good point.
You know what I mean?
You think they
Shit.
stopped hanging out after that point?
No, he still did stuff.
Really?
Maybe I don't know. Probably.
I feel like that's the
probably-
end.
that's
Like,
probably
fuck
the
you
thing.
guys, I'm out.
I guess so, yeah. But then he comes back to get the suit and talks to them, but it's not really in Atlantis. I don't know, Justice League. So then, all right, she goes back in the water, come here every day at sunrise, and he's like, fuck, I'll do it, I guess. You know what I mean? Make some eggs, you know what I'm saying? He like, this dog, he's like, hey, you know what I mean, dog? And the dog is fucking old as shit.
That's
You know
also
what I mean?
still terrified because it's like I remember when she looked at me like I was a fucking.
I can't
chicken
even
wing.
go in my house anymore. It's full of glowing blue holes up there from
God,
these weird energy
terrible.
weapons. So then we jump a little bit further in time. We're at the aquarium. There's a school
Oh,
field trip going
Christ,
on,
this
right? And
shot.
everybody's like,
Oh, man.
here's what the water is, and we know more about Mars than we do the fucking
That's
ocean
true.
floor or whatever. The science with Kev, right?
But also, the ocean floor is constantly shifting, so.
Sure.
This fucking kid is like half the size of any other kid in this building.
So yeah, the kids are there and they're like all bigger and they're fat like me and they're just like, hey, fucking Arthur, you looking at the fish, man?
Did
You
you
like
notice
the
that
fish?
all of them had Fran's haircut? It was very weird.
That was the style back in what 1989.
Just like clear, like yeah, it was very much 90s style.
Like Jonathan Taylor Thomas style.
And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And they're pushing him against the glass. Like, you fucking suck or whatever. Blah, you know what I mean? And then the sharks see this and he's like, nobody pushes him around. He's the real. And the shark, boom, slams the glass.
That's my
goes,
biggest
boom,
nightmare,
slams
to
the
being
glass.
in an aquarium.
Glass starts cracking and little Arthur goes like this.
It's your biggest nightmare,
And we get this shot
and
of
all
him
the
doing
teachers
it.
just let him do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Save
I
the
don't,
goddamn small child from
He's
this
got
shark.
it. He's got it. He's stopping them. The kid, they all see it. They all get it. This is very like Smallville. You know what I mean? And this also then plants the seed for when Bruce Wayne would know that he talks to fish. You know what I mean? Later on to get him in the Justice League.
I heard you talk to fish.
Release the Snyder Cut. And they're all like, man, look at his eyes. They're yellow. Cool.
Wait.
Jaundice.
In that movie,
Jaundice?
they have the conversation where.
Do your eyeballs
wait.
go yellow when you get
I think I'm thinking of
jaundice?
hepatitis, but yeah.
No, jaundice is right. The white
skin.
parts, the white parts turn yellow.
Oh,
So,
I
but
thought you were-
And then
Iris
and
went
hepatitis
yellow.
is when your skin turns yellow, right?
No, jaundice.
Don't
is
have
when
a
your-
cow,
jaundice
man.
is when your skin turns
Simpsons,
yellow.
I think both happen.
Yeah.
But in Justice League, he's talking to Batman, and he's like, "So you talk to fish?" He's like, "Well, we don't really talk. They kind of they can kind of just feel what I'm feeling." But in this movie, he clearly talks to the
Yeah, right. You
crab
can understand
monster.
me. Yeah, and
He
the
leveled up.
Kraken, who's played by. This is a big
Helen
deal.
Mirren.
Was it Helen?
I have no idea.
I thought it was.
Guessed,
I thought it
randomly
was
guessed.
Mary Poppins.
Oh, Emily Blunt.
No,
The original Mary Poppins.
This is a big deal that they got her.
Oh,
in.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. What
I mean,
a
I
wa-
wouldn't
what a
be-
waste.
Julie
of a
Andrews.
shot.
Julie
Julie
Andrews.
Andrews to be
Yeah,
the
there
fucking
she is.
underwater squid kraken thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's
Kraken.
so many people in
This
this.
is good stars. It's like that's how you chose to use them.
What's her face? Who gets always get nominated for the awards? What's her face?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. I was like, It's probably Meryl Streep. Like just
Well, they got fucking Nicole Kidman to just
what
be
I'm
there,
saying.
whacked out of her mind. She
Yeah.
looks high as fucking every
So
scene.
now we're gonna go to a submarine, right? We're out in the ocean. Is it modern day? We don't know yet. Maybe it says I don't fucking remember.
It
But it's
is,
somewhere
it
in the
is.
Indian
Submarine,
Ocean.
so.
They say somewhere in the Indian Ocean.
do say
Remember,
that.
of course, this is where kryptonite would be. Does it come into play? No, it doesn't. Nobody cares about the universe anymore. Anyways, there's a submarine on it. It's got a Black Manta thing on top of it. And you go in there, and then these guys are all like fucking super suits running around, except there's a dad. And then the one guy takes off his helmet, and it's a son. And he's like, we're dad and son. Like, oh, man, this is cool. We're pirates. And they're in the middle
But
of this.
Let me
set
introduce
it up-
my grandpa as well.
They're in this middle of this caper, in the middle of this very serious caper. He's like, I want to give you my knife. Oh, no, that knife means more to you. Then he's like, my dad gave it to me about this time. He was a fucking manta, and he was fucking killing shit in the war, and it was awesome, and then nobody wanted him. So he's like, fuck you, and he took this knife into the water.
And then he went
became a
back into
pirate.
the water. What?
He became a pirate. This was an oddly endearing moment for these two supervillains to have in the middle of killing everyone. They had just killed a bunch of people, and he's like, I'm really proud of you, son. And the guy's like, thanks, Dad. That means a lot to me.
Not the
like,
time, though.
Why don't you
totally, weirdly, totally
I
off.
never told
you
you
worry about being the
congratulations.
captain? I'll worry about being the pirate. Stab the captain.
And like that, and then, yeah, he just murders the
Fucked
captain.
up,
I'm
man.
like, okay, that's weird. And then later in the scene, Jason Momoa murders him, just lets him die, decides not
But they
to.
set up that he's a bad dude with him killing everyone, right?
Yeah, but it's very weird for me because you see that scene. And traditionally, you would not have the superhero in a DC movie or a DC comic book. Look at someone who they've just put in basically a mortal like danger.
He
and
put
go,
himself in
See you
mortal
later,
danger."
motherfucker. No, I mean yes,
He shot the thing that bounced and exploded.
but legitimately, all he had to do was just jump down and pull the thing off of him.
Right.
And it's
But
like
this is
such a weird character.
and then Black Manta could have been his friend.
This comes into play later. There's a conversation about this, right? That he
there
created
is
this guy.
but it's one of those weirdly
Aquaman's got one.
irredeemable moments where I'm like, oh, that's a really unlikable thing for you to have just done.
Remember,
like, to
we-
legitimately murder someone.
For
You
the,
just
how,
murdered
how
someone.
many into this in review are? This is the sixth movie? Seventh movie? Remember, for 6 other movies, you've been complimenting the DC on being grounded and real.
It's true.
All right? So
That's
that
what
is
we
it.
all would have
I
done.
apologize.
Someone shoots a grenade like launcher at you,
Oh no, don't get me wrong. Like,
and you're fine.
The fights.
It's
I
like,
would
oh,
have hopped
fuck
back down and
you.
cracked both their necks. And been like, hold on a second, I'll help.
but what I'm saying is like, yes, yeah, you have the power to save someone. Like you get in a fight, sure. The guy's trying to kill you, sure. It's self-defense. But then you have the power to save them. You've put them in this terrible situation, and they go, "Hey, we're clearly beaten. Please help us." And he goes, "No, have fun fucking drowning to death."
You got yourself in, you
And-
got
and-
yourself out.
or probably
Remember when
realistically,
Megatron did that,
the
topped him his
pressure is
prime,
going to
and then he
just
fucking
destroy
shot
you.
him in the goddamn spleen, and Optimus Prime died.
Remember when Batman did this?
Andy from Canada.
Just because I won't kill you doesn't mean I have to save you.
Do we know what Aquaman
good.
Aquaman's been doing his whole life since he talked to the shark in the beginning?
Drinking,
Yeah,
fucking.
no, yeah, chilling, just
Saving
having
people.
fun, saving
Did you
random
not
people.
see
Aquaman.
Justice League?
So he's been
Remember?
saving random people?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in
Okay.
that one island.
But has he
Or
had
that one,
anything?
like,
Has he
Alaska.
experienced anything like this?
Probably.
Oh, it
'cause
seems
yes,
like
he's-
it, yeah.
I think
like
he started revving
pirates
it up.
and
Like
shit.
he figured
Since
out.
Steppenwolf, definitely.
Hey, yeah,
Because that comes on the news and his dad gets excited.
Because remember he went.
You
He's like, that was
said
you?
that one island, that one like Alaska.
I said that one island. They said, "Well, I like Alaska."
Kevin, they're all islands when you think about it.
Right? We're all on a big
Penguin
island,
Island,
dude.
you know what I mean?
All
One
together,
big
guys.
island, yeah,
All
okay.
together. All
I-
together.
Hold on, Barrett's trying to chime in with something.
Really quick, but it does kind of come back later on with his fight with what's the brother's name? Ohm or something?
Orm.
Yeah,
Ocean Master.
Fucking dumbass name. Where he had clearly beaten him, and then he decides like not to. Where
Yeah.
he's like, "Kill me! Like this is our way," and then he
Oh,
does
the
gotta be a
only
better
type
way.
of character growth is to go from
Murder.
murder to not murder.
No. And I understand
that's
they were
gross.
they were trying to set up that he was like, I made a big mistake, but the way they did it was it should not have been a choice of his. Like traditionally, you wouldn't see that. You would see him going to help the person,
Then it blows
or having
up
a moment of hesitation, going to help the person, and then everything explodes, and then you go, oh shit! Like I learned a lesson. Like I should absolutely. Like he should have tried to help him and then have it be gone and then have there be that miscommunication. Because if not, he loses the moral high ground. No pun intended. From looking at this guy going like, no, I actually legitimately murdered your dad. You now have a legitimate gripe against me, and guess what? That power dynamic is now off because you're the good guy and I'm the bad guy.
Does it count as murder if you just let someone die?
100%. If you can help someone, if you put them in that situation, let's put it this way: if you get into a fight with someone,
Yeah.
right? They start the fight, and then you put them in a spot where they're no longer able to defend themselves,
Maybe manslaughter.
and then you kill them. You still go to jail. You're definitely going to jail.
Now, this is all very interesting, but remember,
court.
we're in international waters. No law. So
No
none of
laws.
this matters.
You can
None of
kill
this
anyone
counts.
you want.
Also, they have awesome buffets on Carnival Cruise Lines.
They
in
do.
international
Oh, man, can you
waters.
imagine how fucking free Aquaman eats because he just swims underwater, boom, up on the deck, walks into the buffet, eats his food.
Super wet.
Boom. Oh, I came out of the pool, man. You know what I mean? Give me a martini. You know what I mean? Anyways,
Why are you wearing jeans and
why all this leather if you're swimming underwater? He freed these Russian soldiers or whatever, right? And they
Swims
were
them
all
back to
super
the
scared.
shore.
They were all scared. And then the one guy goes, Aquaman, right? And they're like, oh, yeah. And they get on the boats. They get out of there. He leaves
Kinda
these people
like
to
that.
die.
He walks in again,
He
he
gets
goes-
shot point blank
he
with
walks
a
in-
grenade.
He's
permission
like
to come aboard. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
he
already
came
said
out
that,
of water.
man.
Yeah, of course, I get it. I understand he's strong because of the water.
Because of the water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because of the water.
Yeah. Thick skin.
Black man, his dad, Aquaman bails. Black man, his dad's like, you got to go. You got to kill this motherfucker. And he's like, oh my god, really? He's like,
won't
but I
leave.
don't want to leave. And he pulls out the Miles Dyson fucking thing from T2.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you don't go, this is gonna happen. It's like, damn, dad. Okay.
It's one of those things where he's like, if we're all gonna drown, right? Now I get that the submarine is sinking into the pressure of the ocean, which will eventually crush them. It'll implode. But there's one moment where he's like, you're gonna die, and he's like, oh, the water's coming in, and like, oh, we're gonna drown. And then someone somewhere in an alternate cut remembered that they're wearing fucking massively high tech breathing apparatuses that he could have just put there, waited for the water to sink in, and then lifted the fucking thing.
But
with
it's
the
still
buoyancy of
heavy
the
as
water.
shit.
In the water, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a
guess
goddamn
it's
like
It would've been-
Torpedo.
torpedo. Thank
That's
you.
fair. That's fair.
It's still super.
But
heavy.
I would have been
Doesn't
like,
matter.
"Slow down, I'm gonna work on you on this one.
Mantis
Here,
is
let's breathe
pissed.
a little bit.
He
let's
gets
do
in
this
his
out."
little Mantis ship. He gets off there. The submarine keeps tumbling. Aquaman's like, fucking hell yeah, I did it, bro. And
Cool shit, man.
Yeah,
Airflip.
exactly. He shoots on back. He goes and he has a beer with his dad, right? Or he goes to his dad's house. He goes down the pier. He's like, I knew I could find you here. And he's like, oh man, you're back. Let's go get a
It's
beer.
like, you're a massive alcoholic now that mom
Yeah.
left. Sorry.
When was the last time they
That's
saw
kinda
each
sad.
other?
They see each other all the
Recently,
time.
yeah, it's
They hang out all the
not.
time.
This isn't
They
like
got a close
Yeah,
relationship.
exactly.
Yeah.
They go to the bar though. They get some stouts there. Dad can drink Aquaman under the table. That's funny. You know what I mean? I like that. But then the news comes on. Tim's favorite thing in any movie. The news comes on and it's like, hey, Aquaman, fucking stop this thing or whatever. And maybe it was Aquaman. Is this where Randall Park is too? And
Yes.
they're all like,
Randall Park's like, I've been talking about this for years.
I
Like, that's
hate-
a weird
I love
cameo
Randall
by
Park
Randall
so
There are
Park.
few things I hate more in movies. I mean, Tim, this is kind of like on your thing where you hate where the news tells you shit, but when the commentators on these news shows are really bad, and Randall Park was not good in that role, and nor was anybody else.
But
'cause
he was playing that crazy guy with the hair that talks about aliens all the time.
yeah, they
He's
just-
never been
We
invited
need
on
that
CNN.
guy in this movie.
I'm
for
not
sure.
No, I don't care about what role he was playing. I just mean that the people that were on this fake TV show sounded like fake people.
Well, the TV show looked fake.
Yeah.
They sounded fake.
Everything in
and then
this
they have
movie
this
looks fake.
conspiracy theory guy on there, and you're like, CNN would not have this guy on, or MSNBC would not have this guy on there. It's all terrible.
It's all hearsay.
Anyways, though, he's like, oh, you're doing it. You're doing the hero thing. He's like, oh, come on, man. Yeah, you know, Dad, blah.
All right,
And
all
then
right.
they're like talking. He's like, "That's cool. You're cool." And then these bikers come over, and it looks like they're gonna start shit, right? But then the one whips out a pink phone. He's like, "I just want a selfie, man." And it's like, "Oh, you want a selfie with
Dude,
Aquaman?"
This scene, they
Like
start
with
walking
Hulk.
up to him, and it's horrible. You're like, why are they doing this scene? Like,
Yeah.
this is fucking,
Yeah.
this is so stupid. And then they flip it as a joke, and it's like, this is somehow worse.
Oh,
This
no,
is
I
somehow
love it.
worse.
I'm
than
not
this
enjoying
was
it.
a
And then they
fight.
go into like the montage of the
What
pictures as
movie
they
is this
fucking
with this
party.
guy where he's just like, hey,
Bro, if this
Can I
guy
get a
were
selfie?
real, if Aquaman was a real thing, and Greg Miller and Nick Scarpino are sitting in a bar in fucking
We're partying with
Alaska
Aquaman.
or
We
wherever
are
the fuck they
partying
are,
with
and we
Aquaman.
see him, we are definitely.
how
partying
would you
with him.
approach him though?
Just like that. I fucking
Hey, Aquaman.
bro, just understand. Daddy's a blue belt, right? Like,
You'd
don't
be
fuck
looking
around.
up, though.
Don't fuck around. Like,
Daddy's
you're
a
big.
blue
You're
belt.
big. But I'll fuck you up, right?
I'm real proud of what you did with Steppenwolf. Do you think it's the coming of Darkseid? That's what I'd be asking. Right? You know what I mean? I'd be right there with the hard questions. Instead,
How
that
good
doesn't
was the
happen.
Snyder Cut?
Exactly.
Bad?
No,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
now
Worse? Oh shit. Oh no.
I'm gonna toss it in. I think this is when it happens back in Atlantis, right? Yeah, King Orm, the Ocean Master, or who will become the Ocean Master. He's down there trying to get Dolph Lundgren's.
Yes.
having a
Dolph
little meeting.
Gungadin. That's who he'll be called.
Real
from
quick,
now
though,
on.
okay, we're moving on. I just want to say again, yeah, Tim, the pink phone thing, it's just such a stupid Nickelodeon
Yeah.
iCarly joke.
I thought it was
Jesus,
funny.
guys.
I
we're-
enjoyed it.
How
think-
could you think it's funny?
because when you're watching the
They
first
played
20,
with
30
your
minutes of this,
expectations.
the vibe of this movie is so silly and
Ryan
wacky. You're just
Johnson
like, all right, this
subverting.
is fine. This is what we're
It's
gonna do
not
here.
silly
Say that
enough.
name
If
again.
it was that silly the whole time, it'd be like, all right, it's not.
It
King Orm's
subverted
down
my
there with Dolph
expectations.
Gungan, and they're like, "Hey,
Why are we meeting here? This is Atlantis.
hey,
Yeah, cool.
You're like, hey, man, it's time for us to fix some shit." You know what I mean?
Darth Gungan. He's Jar Jar Binks and he's a Sith Lord.
And he's like, "Hey, man, like we need to unite the Seven Kingdoms, and I want to help, and you can help me." And he's like, "If I do this, you're just gonna become Ocean Master. That's why you want to do it. You're lying." He's like, "I'm not. We got to get these surface dwellers. They suck. There's
They
all
keep
this
putting
garbage
garbage in
everywhere.
there.
We got to fuck these guys up or whatever." And Dolph Gunnar is like, "I don't know, man. Maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't." And then all all of a sudden, boom, a giant fucking submarine comes and they're like, oh my god, the fucking surface dwellers, and they fire off some shit, but it doesn't work. They blow it up. The King Ormosh Master goes, he fucking and he cuts through the side of it, right?
A cool cut.
And the ship goes all fucking sadly down there, and he comes back. He's like, "The war is fucking here." And Gundam's like, we got it."
I don't understand this thing about Orm's hair. It's pulled back.
Yeah.
It's in a little tie.
But it still fluffs a little.
But it's fully pulled back, and it makes it look like his hair's down to his shoulders, right? Because it's like slicked back in this little like bow
Bun,
or whatever.
yeah.
Not
Little-
bow, but
like
you know
it's
what
like
I
a
mean.
little-
bun.
Yeah,
knot
it's a little
or
bun.
something,
Yeah, a little bun. But then when his hair is all raggedy, it's like my length,
Not
and
that
it's just
long.
kind of floating.
It's a water.
How
thing.
did? Oh,
I
He was also the
Plankton.
president in former DCEU movies, Greg. This man.
Dolph Lundgren?
no,
No.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick
Yes.
Wilson was the president in a DCEU movie? Which one?
I don't know.
cool.
Not that dope.
Maybe the voice I'll give you, but never on camera. Is like, I'm Patrick Wilson. I'm the
Yeah,
president.
he does sound like he's done VO work for that.
I'm
Yeah.
Oren. I'm the president.
He does sound like that.
Well, he's got a great voice.
What, Suicide
I
Squad?
like
I
this
got-
guy.
Interestingly enough, Patrick Wilson had already been a feature in the DCEU in Batman v Superman as the president of the United States.
I like him too.
Oh, when
I
they're
think
trying to
he's-
decide to
he's
shoot
awesome.
the nuke off.
Okay, sure. So
But
just
I
his
don't remember
voice.
that.
Or maybe that was all. Maybe that. On the speakerphone.
Yeah, they only call him. So
There's two. What is it? Like Bogey One's re-entered the atmosphere.
yeah.
So they're like, "Fuck, we got to do this now." And they're like, "Shit, yeah, the humans they fucking suck or whatever." And all right,
So
cool.
he's like, then he gives us the convoluted plot of, well, you've got to unite. All right, what are you going to do? You're going to unite the other 15 kingdoms in here: the fish people, the crab people, the octopus people,
dark- the people have
octopus
gone
crab
dark.
people, the dark people, the light people,
The
all
Elon
these
dark
things,
people.
all these things. And he goes, yeah, you got to get them all. And once I do,
So the Forgotten Kingdom, they're
they're forgotten. Don't need them.
and then there was another kingdom that also died, right? There was two
At any
kingdoms
point in this
that are-
movie, do they say the 7 Seas? Because I don't think
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would have been a much clearer way
Patrick
to like,
Wilson says
go about this.
when Orm is talking about bringing the war, he's like, I'm going to bring the wrath of the seven seas with me, or something like that.
But
Either
there's
way,
more than 7. You
they're
know?
trying to establish all of these kingdoms, and I'm so confused by this. And I'm also like, how could Dolph Gungadin not understand this was like totally a setup? Like
Gurren
it was,
Lagann.
He did.
No,
though.
he
Later-
did. Don't
later
spoil
we
the
have,
plot,
I know,
guys.
I know.
There's a fucking plot for a
I get it.
reason.
Who cares? They
But then
didn't
they go.
care.
That's when he goes. When you unite all these things, then you will be. He's like, "That's right, buddy, Ocean Master,"
Which is cool.
which is a dope name.
Which is cool. It reminds me of that show with the Jonathan Brandis, Ocean
Quest.
Ocean Quest. Sea Quest.
Sequest. Yep.
Never mind.
we were both there.
Before we move on with the
Lab?
plot, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about our sponsors. Today we are brought to you by Gaming Ride Home Podcast. I want to tell you about a great new gaming podcast, the Gaming Ride Home Podcast. It's video game news, all the headlines, rumors, reviews, hardware leaks, release date confirmations, and more, Andy. And more, all delivered to you every day at 5 p.m. Perfect for your commute home. It's little bite-sized tidbits, Greg Miller. You know what I mean? It's letting you know all the things you need to know about the video game news in a day in a really short amount of time.
Kyle's doing good work over there.
Yes, he is. Kyle Hilliard, another former informer, as we like to call them over there. The show is hosted by former Game Informer and IGN writer Kyle Hilliard, and it's only 15 to 20 minutes long. It's like Too Long Didn't Read as a service. Kyle's online all day, reading all the tweets, reading all the rumor blogs, consolidating all the chatter around the entire world of gaming so that he can catch you up on everything that's happened while you were busy living life, eating Oreos. This is the latest show from the Ride Home Podcast Network, the daily news podcast, folks, celebrating 2 years and 25 million downloads. Wow. Search your podcast app right now and subscribe to Gaming Ride Home Podcast. That's the Gaming Ride Home Podcast on your favorite podcast app. Next up, I want to give a beautiful shout out to Me Undies. Greg, did you see the new copy that we got for this?
I haven't yet.
It's fun. I like this one a lot. Imagine your 5th grade self looking into the future and learning that as an adult, you got an underwear membership.
Wow.
They'd laugh hysterically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But joke's on them, because MeUndies is known for the super soft undies and their flexible, fun membership. If you choose to sign up, you'll get perks like site-wide savings, free shipping, and new undies delivered to your door each and every month. Go forth, be an adult, and sign up for that undies membership, even if your past self is laughing at you. I'm wearing my undies right now. I'm just wearing some normal ones. I'm just wearing some nice, clean grays.
I have little sushi ones.
You got them sushis?
Yeah.
I like those. Those are pink.
I feel so uncool right now with mine. Again,
they're like teal.
I only have 7, but I've run out, and I need more than a week's worth.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. Greg, do you happen to know which ones are adorning you?
don't.
Your bosom.
No, please
That's
don't.
difficult to get in there.
you don't have
Anyways,
to.
there's a whole bunch of
Oh, they're camel ones. They're camel ones. Put it
Very
down.
colorful
God.
colorful camo there. They don't just make undies; they also make socks, which I'm wearing right now. You can see that. That's the Me
Oh
Undies
yeah, it's
logo.
with the me on there.
I'm also, no, I'm not wearing the shirt today, but I often am wearing the Me Undies shirts. Fell out of my seat. To get 50% off your first pair, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/morning. That's MeUndies.com/morning. And finally, shout out to Indochino. You know they make suits, they make dope suits, but they make a whole lot more. They make chinos, they make dress shirts. It's fantastic stuff. I recently just got some dress shirts from them. They fit very nicely. Of course, I went blue. But you don't need to. There's many different color options. With Indochino, it's all about you. You get to choose from hundreds of high-quality suit fabrics to pick the color pattern and weight that you like the best. Then you choose all the personal touches, including your lining, lapel, and Kevin's favorite, the monogram. What's the monogram, Kev?
Follow at Kind of Funny Kevin.
Yeah, it's the words you put on your shirt. Those are the words that
I thought
Kevin,
you had it
Kevin
on there.
shows.
No, what? I clearly don't have my suit on.
Indochino also sells custom shirts, coats, and chinos, so you can get a full custom wardrobe. Right now, you can get an extra $30 off any purchase of $3.99 or more at Indochino.com when entering morning at checkout. That's $30 off any purchase of $3.99 or more at Indochino.com. Code morning at checkout. Plus the shipping is free. Wow. Greg?
Wow.
Let's get back to that plot.
So I'm tossing it in here. It might be later, but the water people, not the Atlanteans, but the bad ones with the Ocean Master, right? They go up and they find Black Manta on his little Black Manta Ray ship. And he's sitting there being all sad, and then this giant Technicolor ship comes up beneath him, which is cool. And then the water people in their water suits get out, and they walk over and they call up a little water telephone. And Ocean Master's there, and he's just like, the fucking ship you sent was garbage, but it did its job, so congratulations. Here's some fucking gold doubloons. And he's like, I don't want your money. I want Aquaman. Let me kill Aquaman. I gotta kill him. And they're like, no. And they don't say anything. They just walk in the water and go away. And he's like, I'm Black Manta. But then we go back to the bar, and Aquaman's dad's passed out at the bar. So Aquaman picks up his dad and puts him in the truck, and then he goes to get in the truck. But guess what? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Amber Heard, she pops up, and she's back, and she's like, hey, I'm here, and you fought Steppenwolf, so there's good in you, and you need to come stop people from fighting in Atlantis. And he's like, I'm not Atlantean. You know what I mean? Like, those people killed my mom. I don't want to be a part of that shit. And she's like, that sucks, but they're going to bring the war to the surface, and they're going to kill everybody up here, so you got to come down there and help. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I don't even know your name. Go away. And she's
Also,
like,
why is your hair so fucking red? Why is it
impossibly
so
red.
red?
why? Now that I don't buy, because whenever you look at coral reefs and shit, there's a bunch of really neon reds and stuff down there, right? Same idea here.
You got me.
Nails you. So
He got
anyways,
you, dude.
the truck drives away, and Amber Heard's like, this sucks. I wonder if I should eat roses. And then they're driving, and Aquaman's like, hell yeah.
Smells
I
a
love,
rose and is
I
like,
lo-
what is that?
I love
Intoxicating.
driving. This is really cool. And then he just looks over to the side. There's this giant tidal wave coming.
This
in.
looks cool as shit.
Yeah, no, totally.
But another moment of what movie is this?
Yeah.
We're watching it, and Jen's like, oh, this is a dream. I'm like, it is not a dream. She's like, I'm pretty sure it's a dream. And then it's going on, I'm like, man, is it a dream? And then it wasn't a dream. We're like, what the fuck is happening in this movie?
I always love it when movies play with scale like that.
Yeah.
I just think it looks
and it
really
just
cool.
fucks
and
up
freaky.
this giant battleship, and it's bringing all sorts of stuff. If you look really closely, never Easter egg. You have to get really close. There's a little dory in it. Dory's there. You know what I mean? Remember that fish? No, I don't know who I am. And they're just smashing the ships, and they smash the water, and the water crashes in. And you're like, Aquaman will get his dad out of this
Splash.
jam. He doesn't get him out. They're splish splashing around.
Gets hit by a pole.
Aquaman's pushed out. He gets hit in a pole, and he's like, duh, you know,
It's
doing
horrifying when he's trying to
totally.
swim back
Scary.
to their area and there's giant objects flying at
Yeah,
him.
totally.
But again, he's a bullet can't kill
But
him.
once
so he's
again,
fine.
guess what? Boom, Amber Heard's there. She does the little water with her eyes and makes like a water
Bubble time.
bubble or whatever.
Why
right?
does she have that power?
Why not? Why does he get to talk to fish and nobody else talk to fish? That's the
Great
question,
question.
right?
Great
Also,
question.
Again,
when-
if you
when
don't
you're in the-
remember, when they tried to get their power, they got over ambitious. And that shockwave destroyed their community, gave some of them the ability to breathe underwater, gave some of them evolve some of them, de-evolve some of them. Some people became trench monsters, some people became crab people.
Some of them really-
some became super hot.
Fish
really
people.
good salesman.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can
You're
sell
right.
really
Yeah, yeah.
well. I don't know why.
Some of them became octopus. That, you know,
Yeah, just the
like
one
fucking
sentient
jam.
octopus, right? That can play music. Anyways, yeah, I'll start going.
Do you think they have toilets?
No, you just let it go, dude.
You just go. You're just swimming. You just poop.
Yeah.
No,
Do you think that's
gross.
Why would you
commonplace?
do it like that?
Like when Andy and I are
Nick?
talking, and I'm just like, hold on, and then it just.
And it's one of
Yeah,
those
they
fish
definitely
poops.
have-
Yeah,
It's in
I
this
float a sea
string. It's in
pickle.
this string. Yeah.
Ah, it's horrifying.
Think about all the fish shit you've ate.
You're breathing it in. You're breathing fish shit.
No, I just mean us as human
Carp.
beings.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You gotta swallow the seawater.
Can we
You know what I
please
mean?
stop? I don't like this.
You don't have to. You're not supposed
The
to swallow.
idea-
the
Anyways,
water.
just floating
Aquaman's,
in the water, shitting
Aquaman's doing
himself.
CPR, and
Disgusting.
she's like, "Wait, I got this in an even better way. It sucks the water out of him, which also
Cool
would dry
idea.
out his eyeballs,
Looks
and
weird as
skin, and
fuck.
kills him. I don't
Yeah.
know, but it doesn't.
They expect like fucking fries and vomit and shit to
Yeah,
like, come
yeah,
out
yeah.
like,
Dad
gross.
pops up, he coughs it up, he's alive. Yeah, you know what I mean? Amber Heard's like, this is what I'm talking about, Aquaman. Like, this is the world you have started. And then we get another news clip, right, of like, oh, fucking, there's shit washing up all over the shores. And they're
Garbage
throwing out
in
all
our
shit
battleships.
There's shit
There's
everywhere.
whale shit.
And Randall Park's on TV again, and he's like, this is not a natural phenomenon. This is them throwing out our garbage and our warships. Can't you see what's happening? We have an Atlantean up here. His name is Aquaman. And so Aquaman and Amber are like, fuck, we got to do this. I guess I'll come to Atlantis. We got to talk some sense to this. I guess I have to be the king of Atlantis is basically what's happening. I got to go down there and take my throne, right? And we've all watched Disney movies. We're prepared for this. Every one of us right now. If somebody walks in, you're the king to be. You want to say no because you have a life here. You know you need to go back, like the Princess Diaries, right? Atrocities were happening in her kingdom, and if she didn't come back and stop it, you know what I mean?
What kind of atrocity?
Atrocities, you know what I mean?
Genocide, dude.
Do I have to get
It's not
into
funny.
it?
Got it.
Fucking mass murder, Andy. Do you want to make a joke about that?
I
And
don't know.
wardrobe malfunction atrocities too. A lot of that.
Anyways, they go down. This is where they get her ship that she He's like, I can swim. She's like, no, you got to come in a ship.
It's
Okay.
it's gonna
It's
smell
far
bad
away.
though. You already smell bad.
Smells underwater. Oh, yeah, exactly. Gets in the garbage ship. We see Annabelle or whatever. They take off. They're fucking motorboating through the water down below there.
That's
right?
not what that means.
Yeah. And so eventually they get to Atlantis, and it's very colorful. And then there's a bridge, and he's like, "Why is there a bridge?" And she's like,
The old ways.
"The old
Here's
ways,
my
yeah."
thing. My favorite fucking line of this entire movie. Oh yeah, man. There's guards, and up there, if they get past the guards, there's no way they make it past the hydro cannons. And it's just
Go over the
these
wall, right?
Fucking
Yeah.
hydro cannons.
Well, it's what they call, a breadcrumb, because that's going to come back. That's going to be
Oh
important
yeah, it
later
is.
on, okay.
Are
But
the
what a
hydro
fucking
cannons
awesome line to
also-
die.
I also
gun that they
and I
have?
just enjoy that, like, she understands, and the writers of this movie understand how we in review, so that we'll pick everything apart, right? So literally, when she's like, "Oh yeah, you got to come in this way and check in," don't worry, I'm diplomatic. It's like, damn, they're answering every question. You know what I mean? Because here I am, like, how do you get this? Where?
Yeah.
What? Why did he need a fucking Trident in Justice League, but he has one?
You're
here,
about
you know?
to tear this apart. And
That was
they're
going to be the
like-
one.
They
Look at the
got
camera.
That was
like,
going to be
Greg
the
Miller.
straw that broke my back.
Don't
you know what
try
I mean?
it.
They
Yeah.
call me Camel. And so they go on and
They call me Campbell.
they drive this ship in there and they're all happy or whatever. And then
The straw that broke the camel's back, and they call
no,
me.
I didn't say the straw that broke my back.
Oh, and they
then I
call
put it there.
you Camel.
That was right now. A whole bunch of people are chuckling while driving their car. They're like, that was good wordplay from Greg.
That was great.
And you guys are all too stupid to understand.
No, we're just
No, we
beaten down
got
by
it.
the
We
Y'all
stupidity
got
of
a
this
dose
movie.
of Kansas in you this
Very
morning.
clever.
You don't understand what's
wow.
happening.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Anyways, though, then they go to this fucking water bubble to talk to Willem Dafoe. He shows up and is like, "Oh, Willem Dafoe," and he's like, "Yeah, it's me. And we're friends, yeah." And they're like,
friend.
"Cool." No, and this, I guess, is where I missed the thing that only royals can breathe outside of the
Yeah,
water.
yeah, that's exactly
I
what
missed
they
that.
said.
Everybody else is fucked or whatever. And plus, and he throws a fish through the wall or whatever. It's
You would
like,
think
all right,
that fish would be constantly coming through this wall. If they could just break
If
through
one
the water
can get
barrier.
through? Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think that 'cause fish aren't smart. They're like, oh, I'll go swim in that thing. And like, so constantly you'd be interrupted by these fucking fish. And you're like, we gotta put something
I
else.
feel like
We
that
gotta
would
put a
have
wall
changed
up.
the scene a little bit. It would have been funny though.
That would have great.
Let's get a net, please. Like something.
And so
Put up a
yeah,
tarp
they're
or
like,
something.
all right, cool. Like this is the thing. You got to do the thing. He's crazy. The brother's doing things. He's gonna do. All right, fine. I'll do the thing or whatever. And then another convenient explosion.
They all look exactly the same.
Here comes another one of the fish
Same
man
weapons,
suit
too.
mans. You know what I mean? He walks in there, and Amber Heard and Willem Dafoe fight for a little bit, I think, and then run away. And they're like, well, fuck this
Well,
guy.
because
We
he's
gotta-
like, you can't be seen here. He gives her the thing, the ancient thing, the map to the big
The
trident, right?
little tube.
yeah, right.
He gives her
checks
that,
out,
and he's like,
checks
don't,
out.
you can't be seen here, and
He
don't be
tells
seen
him
with
about the
thing.
prophecy of like, oh, someday somebody's gonna get this trident and be all
And come
fucking
back
king.
king.
The king hailed
And
the
that's
king.
what you need
great.
because they were like, oh, I'll never be respected like a king, and they were like, you're right. You
If
gotta
you
go
get this,
You
though.
got this. Everyone's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like, dude, he's got it.
He's the real king. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the real deal or whatever.
The one true heir.
They haul Aquaman off to fish court. He wakes up there. He's all chained down in fish court with a whole bunch of these like guys, just the weakest dudes ever.
Just holding
You know
him.
what I mean? Right?
Like,
Yeah,
why not
exactly.
just connect it to the floor?
Because you would think, and Kevin, this is a
Trauma.
science thing, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you were half breed, you'd be half as powerful, right? Like, I don't know.
Now here's the thing. I've been thinking about this a lot, Greg.
I'm listening.
You know when they cross a tiger and a lion? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
What
do.
do they call it?
It's a liger.
A liger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a liger. Tigon doesn't work.
Tiger.
It's just the chemistry's not there.
Okay.
Bigger. than a tiger.
Shit, fuck there.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so there
Got
you
it.
go.
Thank you.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
for having
No
that.
worries.
Thanks for being there.
But
with
also
me.
slow and dumb.
Yeah, sure.
No.
So King Orm's there, and he's like, Atlantis! In one of his many weird fucking weird. You're looking at Patrick Wilson, you're like, man, you're a great actor. And this is so not the role for you.
I do like the visuals of this area,
Take
but
the
I also
paycheck.
don't know where this place exists in Atlantis because nothing else looks like this. All white,
giant white
cool,
fucking room.
weird structures and shit. Like, I gotta assume the concept artists had a lot of fun working on
This
this
is like
movie.
their city hall, right? You gotta imagine, like when you go to our city hall, it's like, oh, this fucking looks weird.
I guess so, but nothing else look. Yeah, I guess you're.
You know what I'm saying?
But everything else in the world looks like concrete and shit. Like, what is this place made out of? I don't know. It's very.
Yeah.
And
Very
so he's
weird.
like, hey, it's my little brother, my half-blood prince over here, or my big brother, half-blood prince. You suck. I'm the king. I've always wanted, blah, blah. Like, what are we going to do about you? And Aquaman, like, rips everything and he goes up there. He's like, I want to kick your ass. And Patrick Wilson delivers, like, the weirdest line of, like, you want emancipation by proclamation of fighting the queen of the thing? And Aquaman's like, yeah, I guess. Like, whatever the fuck that is. And Willem Dafoe's like, but he doesn't know our ways. And he's
turning into the Green Goblin.
And he's like, no, he wants the fucking emancipation by proclamation of fighting the thing with the stuff and the what. And they're like, all right, fine, fuck, we're going to do that thing.
We're
To
gonna
the
go
fire
find
ring.
the Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire sounds cool.
Sounds cool.
You know what I mean?
That's where I find it.
And Amber Heard's there.
Don't we
she's-
have a moment where they're like, Ring of Fire? And he's like, Ring of Fire? What?
Wait,
It's just
what?
like, all right.
Let's use this comedic beat that's used a million times in movies. Wait, what?
And so, yeah, then they go to the Ring of Fire. Well, they're getting their stuff ready, and he's like putting on armor and
Yeah,
shit.
he's got a lot of
getting
armor
it-
to
I
choose.
gotta try it and all this shit and all this fucking crap. That was from earlier. But anyways, and they're like, all right, cool, you gotta fight the guy now. And then Orm comes in, he's like, we're gonna fight now. He's like, all right, is this it? We just keep... And bling, it goes up there, and he's like, Atlantis! Again, like, all right, cool, man. And everybody's there, and they're Atlantean.
But his
and they're
microphone
fucking
wasn't
into it.
on.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah. Yeah. And so I was like, now I gotta fucking fight. So they start fucking fighting.
Mira comes out. Is this when she's wearing the
Yeah.
jellyfish?
Yeah.
It's a lot of jellyfish.
She comes out and talks to her dad.
We also
and
have
she's
the
like, I never
octopus.
thought I'd see you bend the knee to
You're right.
Atlantis. You'd bend your knee to Atlantis or whatever.
You know
can
it's a trick, and
You
he's
can
like,
clearly
yeah.
see through. She's like, but you're not dumb enough to fall for that. You want a war with the surface.
King.
You're not. You want a war with the surface dwellers too. And Lundgren's like, yeah,
They keep putting garbage in her stuff. I get it.
in their place.
yeah.
This must exist. So somebody please help me find. Tweet at me at Tim Gettys. I want to see a video of Under the Sea mixed with this scene.
Man, she does look like Ariel.
Yeah,
I
and also
never-
the
I never
octopus
got to that.
looks like the octopus that's
at
also
that.
playing drums in Little Mermaid.
So the fight pops
beautiful.
off. Orm,
Dope fight. I like
Aquaman,
this a lot.
They're tridenting it up out there. They're hitting each other around.
Super
They do
sick.
that thing where they come at each other really hard and knock away, and the shockwave goes off, and the crowd goes silent,
Yeah,
and then
that's
gets really
tight,
into it.
that's
You know what I
tight.
mean? Fuck these Atlanteans. You know what I mean? These Atlanteans.
At one point, Orm's throwing just
molten
Well,
lava.
molten
Yeah,
lava,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
It's
cool.
like, all right.
Aquaman cuts it in half. Yeah, exactly.
And then Mira fucks it all up. It's like,
he wasn't even losing.
Yeah,
right?
his mom's trident gets broken.
Yeah, but
by-
so what? Now he's got 2 tridents.
Nah, he needs it. He can't do that. You know?
Nah, it's lost his power cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, no, he can't do it. And you can
Dual
see
trident.
his heart's broken. It's very much.
I mean, yeah, it hurt emotionally.
It's
I'm sure.
similar
He's
to
the only
Yoda,
thing-
right? Where Yoda got knocked down once and was just like, "Oh, fuck the galaxy, I will," and leaves through a little fucking air duct. You know what I mean?
That's where he escaped through.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, Amber Heard,
Been
she
hiding
pops
there
in
for
her
years.
big ship or whatever, and just fucking sucks all the water out from around Ocean Master. He drops real hard. Then she drops the water on him or whatever, and it's like, oh, confusing.
That's a heartbreak because we also just found out that they were engaged. Right?
Yeah.
And
of
it's
course.
like, oh,
it's a
shit.
betrothed situation. You can tell. You know
For
what
his
I mean?
older brother.
Yeah.
Damn.
And so Aquaman jumps in the thing and they start driving away or whatever. And they're people are giving chase and they're getting shot at or whatever. And then this is back to this is here where it comes.
Here's the hydro cannons.
Hydro cannons, right?
No, but again, a lot like we cut to this scene after this like super awesome, really fun fight,
yeah.
and then Aquaman is inside of this vehicle, just acting like a little silly kid, and it's just so off. Where he's like, "They're behind us! They're behind us!" Like,
We got a bogey on our 6.
Like, what,
These
before
bad
that,
guys are behind
when
us.
she pulls up, what does she say? It's some bullshit like,
come
What?
on, baby, you want to live?
no, it's not. It's not that at all. It's just like, are you gonna wait for an invitation or like some stupid shit? It's just like, guys, come on, man. Do not have this be the period at the end of that fight scene.
So the hydro cannons, they don't do nothing. They're shooting, but
No,
like
they
they're
destroy the ship.
Yeah, but they're getting around them, and Patrick Wilson's giving chase, and everybody's giving chase. They're shooting shit. There was one scene where Patrick Wilson pulled up beside him, and was like, not happy about this. But yeah, they get enough distance. They're wounded. They bail out of their ship over the molten lava, and then they swim into a whale's mouth, Pinocchio style, because Aquaman goes.
He makes a little joke. He makes a little
reference.
joke.
Yeah. Well,
She doesn't get it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
when it pops up.
And so then Patrick Wilson comes in. He's like, "That ship's dead. We got him, everybody. Good job. Good job." Shakes hands with everybody, Atlantean style. They all leave, and then the whale tells Aquaman, like, "Hey, yeah, the coast is clear."
What is Atlantean style? Handshakes.
Good job. Good job. Good job. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of that.
They do this.
Exactly.
The wave.
So yeah, he's like, "Coast is clear," and like, "Cool, we did it." And they come out, and like, now we need to go somewhere.
I'm waving goodbye.
And at this point, we already have the thing from Willem Dafoe, right?
Put it back to you. Give it back to you. I didn't want it.
We have. Is this where we go to the desert?
Well, they put a
Because
little.
that was the thing. Because
No,
they had
that's
the
when.
thing.
Isn't this when they?
No, this is when they go to the villa. They go to Italy
They go to Italy first.
because I think it tells them to go there, right? And then they have
Oh, the bottle and the thing. No, because
no.
they
No,
need
yeah,
that
they
from
get
the
the
thing.
thing.
right, they go to
So
the
they have
desert.
the thing
They go to
from
the
Willem
desert.
Dafoe.
Right.
So they know we got to go to the desert. Right?
She's it's also set up that she's got this bracelet on that's tracking her.
Yeah,
as
he
well,
already
right?
gave her this bracelet or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
They go to the desert. They take a plane out there.
Exactly. They get there. It's some guy who's got a plane, a cargo plane or whatever. This is all Uncharted 3, by
Yeah.
the way. Like, even when they're walking
we're
up and the
back.
way the camera spins, it's
Yeah.
like, that's Uncharted 3. But yeah, they're up there, right? Her little tracking device from Atlantis starts going off. Like, they're there. She jumps out of the fucking thing. He jumps out of the fucking thing. Redheads.
Gotta love
They
them.
land. They walk.
They don't land.
They smash.
Yeah, no.
They fucking face first hit the goddamn ground.
They got thick skin, Tim.
And you think, all right, we're going to come into play with, they're getting dried out. They're losing abilities or whatever. No, they're just fucking walking through the desert. The thing starts beeping. They fall in a hole. They're there. Congratulations.
What
It's the deserter
the hell was
kingdom.
this?
They just fall in a hole.
Yeah.
Why did
They
the
literally
whole?
just-
Why
Oh,
did,
and it's like all like
why
twisties.
did the whole
Goonies.
make a burp noise?
Because that's what happens.
The
cute.
whole-
It's cute.
The, they
Do you remember the
fall in-
Sarlacc pit?
They
like that.
That's what I'm like. They are insinuating that this is sort of
A living
creature or something, but it's like it makes a
Andy,
noise.
I'll answer
Why?
your question with a question.
Here we
Why
go.
do you hate fun?
Exactly, right?
Why do you
So
hate
stupid.
fun?
We forgot the Pitbull song in
they-
the
they
desert, too.
found
That
the
was
first-
great.
Mr. Worldwide on the way to the desert. Africa, Mr. Worldwide.
That's an
What?
accurate representation.
A fucking terrible music choice. But there's two music choices. There's this
I
one
love
and the one at
that.
the
I
end.
loved it. I
It's
loved
what
it.
the fuck is happening?
I
with
love this music choice so much.
It's
awful.
bad.
Why do you hate fun? It's great.
They slide through. They land there.
Fuck,
We're
so
in
you
the
got it.
deserted kingdom. They walk around. Oh, there's a whole bunch of Atlantean shit here. They all died. They dried out. Oh, no big deal. And they like walk over there, and sure as shit, there's like a clockwork thing. And they're like, oh, hold on a second. They put the thing in there, and it doesn't do anything.
Oh my god! And then it's the fucking worst movie ass bullshit of just like, well, how does this work? Oh, it's dry. Oh, I need some water. Here's one fucking drop. Oh,
First
we
of all,
did
it's
it.
not the worst movie thing.
No problem at all.
Fifth Element did really good.
Fifth Element crushed it.
Crushed it.
Remember, but it was her tears, right? Wasn't that the water?
No, that was the sweat.
Oh, the
Like,
sweat.
he
That's what it was.
yeah.
That's what it was. Fifth Element, great movie. We should all watch that one.
This is
Good
just like
movie.
this is when people are like, oh man, Fast and Furious movies. I can't believe they fucking like them. At least Fast and Furious movies either know that they're being stupid as fuck or will give some reason for the MacGuffin
No.
to make some type of fucking sense. Instead of this, every single time they introduce a new MacGuffin, it's immediately like followed up with like, oh, here's what we need to do with it, and we did it.
I didn't mind this part. I just wish that this was what the movie was about a little bit more. Where like I'm like, oh, okay, they're gonna go on an adventure to find this Trident, and the Trident's gonna be the thing they bring back, and then the second they get it, they get captured. Whatever, I don't know. But this just go.
exactly
They
my
just
point.
go, and then it's just they find the thing, and then
And they have the thing.
Then they have the thing. Yeah,
So
When
got,
did they pick up the bottle? Sorry.
that's here. That the thing opens up and the bottle's in the ground.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, a bottle.
Yep.
And they go take the bottle to this thing.
So
Go to
yeah,
Italy.
the thing goes around. Oh, could have just beat on it. And there's a joke for this segment if you want. And then it's the guy pops up and he's like, "Here's the thing," and he gives him an entire fucking riddle, and then the thing
Here's the
opens
bottle.
up. The bottle's there. The map is there with the Italy circled or whatever. And they're like, "All right, cool." When they take the bottle, I would have smashed the bottle. So it's smart that they, I would have left the bottle behind. Why do I need this fucking bottle? But they take the bottle because they're smart Atlanteans. And it's like, all right, cool. Now we got to go to Italy or whatever.
Get a great Pinocchio callback. Oh my god.
Look,
We're
look,
in
look.
Italy?
Have you ever been to Italy? Legitimately, I saw 2 Pinocchio stores. I'm not even exaggerating.
Pinocchio's
there was
huge.
2 Pinocchio stores.
Everywhere you go in
Not
Italy-
like, hey, they featured Pinocchio. The store was called Pinocchio.
That's all we have.
And all it had was little fucking Pinocchio dolls.
Like literally
Terrifying.
Everywhere you go in Mussolini, Italy, little Excuse me, was legit. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's it. We're
There you
done.
go.
We're done. Let's move on.
I don't remember. Did we even get to see how they got from the desert
No.
to Italy?
No, it
There's
doesn't
no
fucking matter.
explanation for how they walked
If you
out
want
of
an
the
extra
fucking
15
Sahara.
minutes of them trying
No,
to
I'm
figure
just
out
wondering if I
How do we
missing
get
it.
out of here? I don't
In
know.
my head, as I
miles
tell
and
the
miles of
story, I
desert.
wonder if I'm missing a scene.
Nope.
That's all it was.
Because there's a lot of precipitation in the air.
Sure.
There's water.
Oh.
They swam.
Got
through
it.
the
Yeah.
air.
Okay.
Yeah.
She made a little water slide. Or whatever. Well, I'm gonna toss it in here. Meanwhile, King Orm is under the sea. He's still getting everybody together, right?
He
He's
kills the
doing
Fish
stuff.
King.
Yeah, he kills the Fish King, who's played by
Anthony Hopkins. Sir
I
Anthony
can never
Hopkins.
pronounce the guy's name. He's the guy who, infamously in Guardians of the Galaxy, goes "Who?" to Star-Lord.
Oh.
It's
Jaimon Hansu.
Jaimon Hansu.
Yeah, exactly.
Also from Furious 7.
Hey, there you go.
I thought
Also
you were
from
going
Air.
I thought you were going to say
And
Leonardo
5?
DiCaprio or some other
No.
like.
No?
Yeah, he killed the Fish King. The daughter's installed. Now you got to do what I do. All right, cool. We're all on
Which
the
makes
fucking
no
ship.
sense. I'd be like, no, we don't. There's
Kill me
3
again,
of you
okay.
and a fucking my army. You're in my kingdom. My army's right there. I'm the queen now. Kill this guy.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's not how they did
Done.
it, though.
But they're
Meanwhile,
weak.
they show back up at Black Manta, and they're like, listen, we got this
Oh,
thing for you.
this
It's
is
the
my
case.
favorite
Well, he has the-
part of this whole movie. Hey, we've tracked this person down. They want to arrest them, but I don't want them arrested. I want you to go find them and kill them. I can't do it myself, but I can't do it myself because I can't be tied to it. But I'll give you my 7 elite soldiers that everyone's already seen me with. Basically, the guys in the fucking red guys in the throne room in fucking Return of the Jedi. I'm gonna send those guys with you, but no one's gonna know I sent them, right? But then I'm gonna give you this cool suit, but it's not gonna be cool enough for you to wear. You got to take it back to your fucking
Leia.
weird layer
Manta ship.
and take this unbelievably advanced technology, the likes of which humanity has never seen. Feel free to just take that apart. There's slime at one part, and it's a zany, wacky scene where he blows his roof off. We're like,
And there's
whoa.
music playing that
needs a
fits
bigger head.
almost
I need
as
a bigger
poorly as
helmet.
Pitbull in the desert. And it's just like, if we gave a fuck about this guy, this could be cool.
But see, it
we
could have been
don't
cool,
at all.
but tonally, it's so weird because again, this guy plays like he's the hero. This is the scene where Ant-Man's trying to jump through the fucking keyhole.
This is Tom Holland.
Iron Man.
This is Iron Man's
everybody
fucking
together
new
his
suit.
suit, yeah.
And he's like, ooh, it's like he looks at the camera, slime. Why the fuck didn't they just? Why wasn't this scene? Hey, we've got this badass
serious,
suit for
yeah.
you, and it doesn't look anything like our Atlantean technology on purpose.
It's prototype. He said
a
it was prototype.
So that here you go, and they give it to him, and it's the Black Manta suit. Why was that not it? Done. Why did we need this scene where he's like,
He's a
"I'm
man
super
of
smart."
his own means.
Cool suit, though. You know what
I mean, what a dumb fucking.
Oh, you know what the red suits
No, it's
remind me
not.
of?
It's not cool at all.
The soldiers with the red suits. It reminds me of when you upgrade your little guy in Killer Queen Black.
Oh, sure.
When you upgrade to a little soldier, that's what they remind me
So
of.
in
like-
Italy, yeah, we get payoff to the Pinocchio thing.
They eat a
Oh,
flower,
there it
they
is.
fall in love.
She eats flowers. They're having a great moment. He's like, if I didn't know better, I think you like these surface dweller people or whatever. And she's
Indiana
like,
Jones Uncharted moment with the bottle.
Well, we were getting there. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. And then, yeah, we go up there.
That's cool.
We go up there and because they had the thing and find the thing and like.
He knows a lot about history because
Exactly.
Pops taught me about
Pops
history.
taught me about
But
history or
also, there's
whatever.
only one guy that's got his hand
Yeah.
up and his head carved out.
You can see through his eyes. I'd be like, probably.
He like
that
pulls
one.
out
Let's
his
just
pants
try
and
that
just
one.
puts his dick in that scene.
I don't know if it's King Ramses or whatever the fuck it is.
They
or,
look over there, sure as shit. Yeah, that's where it all lines up on the ocean's crest. Oh my God, we know where the next clue is.
How-
To the thing. It's the trench, though. That's scary.
Do they? I guess,
Scary.
Scary. No,
Scary.
thank you.
So they're
And they're like, all right, we got it. And then what, Tim?
Explosion.
Convenient explosion.
I was
happens.
guys
Once
after this
again.
explosion. I expected both of their heads just to be on the wall, like
Right, yeah.
just completely just obliterated. Like it was so violent.
Yeah.
and right near their heads.
And
too.
so yeah, they're like, what the fuck was that? And yeah, it's these elite soldiers. It's Black Manta. He gets up. He's like, I don't even know who you are. You can call me Black Manta. You're that guy. Yeah, you killed my dad. I'm
Remember
Black
me?
Manta.
Psh, and he pulls out the fucking thing, and then later he like references it again. He's like, no, I'm that guy. It's like, no, we know, and he
We
knows.
get it.
Shout out to this though, which is something I've always said throughout our interview process here at the DCEU. I love that Aquaman gets fucked up here and looks like he got fucked up. He gets blasted with the beams, and he's got burns on his arms, and he gets cut, and there's blood, and it's like cool.
He gets
It's not
stabbed a
normal
bunch.
Superman getting punched.
Yeah,
three
There's
times.
also a moment where he just decides to fucking like shoulder check a bell as it's falling out.
Save a kid. Save
And I
a
was
kid.
like, that was
That
pretty
was
cool.
tight. That was a
Again,
good movie.
I think this
He
action
sends
scene
the
is
bell
cool.
towards a
This
crowd
scene-
of people.
There's like about 6 minutes here that I'm just like, fuck, I don't
cares?
care about this movie. This is fucking awesome. I
Yep.
loved every single bit of it, all the choreography.
He has-
the planes of action of the camera moving back and forth was cool. Her running underneath with them running above, or no, the other way around,
Yeah.
her above, and the guy just fucking charging there. I'm like, we haven't seen this in a movie. This is fucking cool.
the
They
Fast
do-
Six Havana scene. kinda?
They have a way of shooting this stuff too that normally would put me off. They shoot it in very, very deep focus. So like the scene with Nicole Kidman and some of the scenes here where we're going from like people are jumping around. Usually it doesn't have a shallow depth of field, which is very cinematic. It has a very, very deep focus, and normally that makes it look a lot more like video, but for some reason it just, that style for me worked in these action sequences.
Totally.
And I would normally be put
It's
off
fast
by
and
that.
Yeah, they also like play where like they slow it down when she's doing the fight, right? And it's like she does the cool action like fighting that.
I don't remember there being
mom
slow-mo.
did.
I just remember there being like the fun continuous
The
shot.
flow
which is-
seemed different in that moment.
it was
yeah.
cool. It was very very well done, and I just wish that wasn't the highlight of the film.
Yeah,
I
same.
wish that was just cool action.
Yep.
Black
that backs up a
Manta's
great
fighting
story.
Aquaman out there right after the blast. They're having some jawing back and forth, as the kids say. He threw away Black Manta's sword at one point, but he's got the arm blade. He's stabbing him with that. It's a give and take.
It's
Some
Atlantean steel.
Exactly. Some
Yeah.
of them have got it, the upper hand. Some of them don't. You know what I mean? Back and forth, back and forth.
Just like
Eventually,
Valerian
though,
steel.
fucking he's like fucking balls on a chain get wrapped around Black Manta's neck. It comes swinging around. Aquaman through him. They swing around. He melts one, and then it's still enough to pull him in the water.
The
human
other one hits
being-
him in the
This
face.
human
Yeah.
being, I don't give a fuck how dope your Killer Queen suit is. This human being gets the suit broken ass as fuck, wrapped, choked, dropped off this fucking mountain, bang, bang, bing, bop,
That
boom,
shot was cool, by
into
the
the
way.
water. Very cool. That motherfucker's
He's
dead.
dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
That motherfucker is
Not
dead.
to mention the suit's filling with water, dragging him. Like, he landed
dead.
perfectly on that wooden board that
But
we
he
see him
comes
on.
from a family of frogmen.
That's true. Actually, he called him Manta.
I do want to call it that shot though, with the camera's following him as he's ping ponging off the fucking hillside, the rocks. I was like, that's very violent and cool.
Amber
Cool
Heard
shot.
Oh, I
gets to
didn't like that.
Aquaman, and Aquaman's final words like, "You're being tracked," and she's like, "Oh fucking Jesus!" Breaks the fucking bracelet or
Right.
whatever. Back at home, they're like, "Oh, we don't have a tracker on anymore." It's like, nah, fuck, I'm King.
Isn't
Warren,
this
I'm
also
keeping
where
it
he's like, oh, at some point he's like, I know you've been fucking betraying me, Willem
I think that
Dafoe.
was later, but we can put it in.
Put it
now.
right here, yeah, sure, right
Yeah,
here.
like,
So
why,
he's
if
like,
you
Willem
knew he
Dafoe,
was-
go to the fish prison. He's like, oh no.
Oh, but
Make
yeah,
sure he
you'll
has
have a
a
good
view.
view.
Exactly. Meanwhile, yeah, Aquaman wakes up and he's on a boat with Mira there, and he's like, "Did you steal his boat?" And she's like, "Aren't the boats free in the harbor?" And he's like, "No." She's like, "Oh." And then, he was wrapped in seaweed by Mira, and that healed him, which is good. That's cool.
See the deal?
Which is
Yeah.
good.
Good for him. Happy for him.
Glad that worked out.
This is where shit gets really cool looking.
Yeah, this is some great visuals here because they're going to the trench to get the thing. This is where the final clue's taking them. They get there, and then sure enough, like, one of the trench creatures is on the fucking thing, right? And it's like, holy shit, this
It's
is
fun,
scary.
like-
And then more and more keep coming. They're fighting. They run into the thing, and they get flares out, and they're scared of flares. And like, all right, we gotta go. So they jump in the water, and we get that really cool wide
That
shot.
shot
of
is like
the water level with the boat on it. and
One
them going down.
perfect shot.
That's,
Twitter.
But these guys, of course, this is all the trench people, and I shouldn't say it's pulled from. I think it's all inspired by Jeff Johns' Aquaman when he started over with number
2012.
1. Right, yeah, because that was when everybody was like, Aquaman's cool. Look at what they're doing with Aquaman. And it was him fighting these trench people.
I do like two of those shots. There's one shot that's specifically when they're jumping off the boat, and it's kind of slow-mo as they're jumping off, and all the creatures
Yeah,
are
yeah,
following
jumping
them.
around 'em.
And then they do have that beautiful shot of them going down, and it's like the chaos all around them is just parting a little bit
Yeah,
as they
there's
go down.
hell
into it.
of them.
And it's really, really cool. I do like that part. That's cool.
And they're going down, and they got more flares. They're using more flares. More of these trenchmen are trying to get them, but they can't get them. You know what I mean? And then they get down there, and they look over, and there's a little like crack over there that's got some blue light in it, right? And they go that way. I forget, does the blue light go off or no? They just
just
go
gets
towards
No,
sucked
it.
I think
into
that
it.
it's like kind of like a
right.
cave
Maelstrom.
opening.
Yeah, and
that
they get
see.
sucked. They get sucked into it. That's right, which then teleports them to
And
the
they go to Middle Earth.
They go to Middle Earth here, core Earth,
The
right?
Earth's
or
core.
whatever. And so they're down there,
Watch the
and
core.
Dude,
And
the
there's
fucking
fucking
core is great.
dinosaurs everywhere.
yeah, little baby dinos, yeah.
The little
Mira
They had
washes
the big
up
one,
on
the big
shore
one
or
that
whatever.
almost ate her. The alligator one.
Nicole Kidman runs over and gets her and pulls her free, and she's in this weird, like,
Great.
scary suit. And then
I
Aquaman-
appreciate that pretty much from this moment on in the movie, they're just like, all right, fuck it. Let's just go. Like, this part where he gets the trident, I love that there's not too much fucking, like,
Totally.
more MacGuffins and shit. It's just kind of like, go and get it.
Exactly. Aquaman lands. He gets reunited with his mom. She throws down her crab claw. Still has the stupid shark fin on him. And she's like, "Oh, Arthur." And they're like, "Ah, yeah."
Dumb fucking costume.
And they have a moment there where, like, in here, your father, he's like, he still goes to pier every sun morning. What am I looking for? Sunrise.
He's a raging alcoholic now, thanks to you.
No,
so.
he's not a rage. He just enjoys a good beer.
The man
alright?
drinks
It was the
himself
weekend.
until he passes out every day at the bar because of you, Mom.
He's a lighthouse keeper. You know how boring that work is? You
It's
understand?
important work, though.
It
because
is
if
important,
You don't
I
keep the lighthouse
know.
up, ships just break into the shore.
But it's daytime. He can go drink.
point.
But just like he said, when two ships are in the water, they'll meet
Exactly.
eventually.
Everybody catches
Feels
up
right.
here. We get some information. Yeah, she's
Darwin.
like, guess what? Yeah, I can't leave because I can't leave without the thing.
Trident
And
is the only thing
Trident's
that'll
in
let me
there.
leave, and the only thing that the person that gets Trident is the true heir, and you're the true
I've
heir.
gone
so
in there a
go
million
there
times.
and talk
There's,
to Helen
there's a
Mirren.
Kraken. There's not a Kraken, but a cracker. or
Catherine
whatever.
or
Catherine.
Cracker.
Cracker. So you got to go in there and get the thing.
What is going
And
on?
Aquaman's like, I'm scared. And she's like, that's what makes you the true king. And he's like, you're right. And he just fucking flies on in there. And he sees it and he goes over
He
there.
doesn't
and
fly in there. He skips on the rocks into the. Did you see that part where he's like, "What? I'm gonna get my toes wet."
He gets in there, and then sure as shit, he's about to grab it. There's a big old tentacle comes over, and we hear this like. Blah, blah, blah,
It's cool. I love the visuals of this.
Yeah,
Reminds me
Julie
of Halo
Andrews.
2.
Yeah.
Julie Andrews is there talking, and
Terrible story,
and she's
dude.
like, "What are you gonna do?" And he doesn't
Horrible.
talk any back to her at all. What are you gonna do? And she comes. Aquaman goes at her, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever. I fucking do it." You know, nothing. They bat each other around for a while, and then finally Aquaman starts talking to her. She's like, "Holy shit, you can understand me?" He's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Well, you're a fucking half blood, and that sucks, but like, it's cool. But like, it's cool. I haven't had a conversation in a while, but I could eat you too. But you can go
I'm
get
famished.
it. Go ahead and go get the damn thing if you want. It's just a lot of people. I've seen many people better than you die beforehand, and I'm gonna eat you if you die." And he's like, "Cool, yeah, bro." And he walks over and he yanks it away really cool, like boom, just holds it up, and it's like, "Bam!" It's like, oh man. And then the fucking Atlantean, he falls apart into dust, and all his armor falls apart. And then we go back outside, and Mira and the Queen are there, and it's like, this is weird, man. And then like he walks out, and he's like, "Bam!" Aquaman, the water's pouring down.
And honestly, let's fucking.
I
go.
mean,
That's
look,
cool.
look, yeah. When he walks through with the suit, I'm sitting at my desk like, this movie sucks, but I'm really hyped up right now.
Yeah.
Like
They
the
did.
the
They went
music
anime,
beat,
man.
the slow mo.
They went full anime.
But also, you got to assume that his mom and like, why are you walking in like that? Just come say hi. It
That's
looks
cool.
awesome.
He knew it was a
though.
moment.
and the suit looks sick.
And so yeah, then we're above the Earth's core, but not above. We're not above water. We're still on the ocean floor. Here we're going to war here, right? Because these other fish people, the crab people, they didn't want to actually do what King Orm wanted. So now we got to fucking kill you guys, right? And crab people are like, no, don't kill us, but we're going to fight you because we're crab people. And like, all right, cool. And they start rushing, and some of them are riding sharks, some of them are on seahorses,
This
some
would
of
have
them are
been
just crab
so
people.
much fucking cooler if it was like the surface dwellers versus the Atlanteans.
Would it have been?
I mean, the
I
United
don't
States
think so.
Navy trying to fucking like do something against
We've
these
seen
guys.
that shit before.
Yeah, that's fine.
God, this scene was just what the fuck is going on? It's just crazy
Chaos, yeah.
chaos visuals. You don't care about either side.
True.
You do. For some reason, by the way, this is the big thing I struggle with is that are the Atlanteans just totally fine following this guy? And if so,
You saw they're bloodthirsty. You saw them at the.
so like
Well, he's
all
the
of
rightful king. He's been the king for a while.
all of the Atlanteans follow this guy. And then when Arthur comes and usurps this guy, isn't then Arthur the bad guy? Didn't he just kill the king that they're all following?
No, they're all just blindly following a king. You know how kings are.
So like,
I go
why
over
the
there and I
fuck-
kill,
Why are we
queen
sympathizing
and
with
queen.
with these Atlanteans who, by the way, we just saw like an hour earlier. They're like, the king's gonna kill another guy that's trying to dethrone him. Let's all watch and cheer. This is a great sport for us. This is super fun.
You need to read more like medieval history.
I'll tell you what,
This is
though.
how it was, bruh.
Orm looks sick with this suit.
He
Like,
looks like
this-
a clown.
The purple
he looks like a
blue thing
fucking clown.
Looks awesome. I think it looks cool.
The
Stupid Ocean
suit.
Master mask.
I love that his mask moves. By the way, did you notice
So
that?
stupid.
Well, I don't really
I
mean the
like
mask.
that.
I just
I
mean,
like the mask.
I meant the color scheme of how his it was like a blue and purple.
I don't-
He's
I
a
don't
dumb
think-
villain. This is a dumb iteration of him. That's what you
Orm's
get.
cool,
You know
man.
what I mean? It's bad as Steppenwolf.
So they're fighting, and
I take out.
and then he finally kills
No.
the Crab King.
Who even gives a shit? Aquaman and fucking Julie Andrews pop up from the ground. They're like,
They kill everyone. By
and
the
they're
way.
just fucking up everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's so stupid
both
and
sides
awesome, man.
totally annihilated by the Kraken, thus ensuring that Arthur will be the king over just nothing but a stack of dead bodies.
And I have,
fish.
I have no real facts on this of how long this fight scene is, but I fall asleep and wake up during it multiple times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, how is still sharks biting people? This is happening.
So-
a lot of fucking
He
action.
gets all the
And then-
sharks
and then
to
we-
stop, right?
well, he brings the fucking at one point he brings the entire sea over.
Well,
to,
yeah,
like,
he
beat
like
everyone.
he stops their like sharks and
Yeah.
like can like turns them into
Sure.
his friends.
And then so he turns the tide, no pun intended, of the battle
that.
against Orm, and then Amber Heard's character goes, "Hey, we got to have a quick talk. You got to go up there. You got to fight him. Or everyone's dying. Okay, clearly you've killed half of both armies now. You're the most wanted man and hated man in all of the fucking oceans. Why don't you go up there? You challenge him one more time. You got the Trident. That's cool. And then they talk for a solid 10 minutes in the middle of a battlefield.
It's super quiet. Yeah.
And it's super quiet. And it's actually kind of a lovely little moment where you're like, let's take a second. Let's just take a second.
We've had an adventure.
We've had a great. Let's just take a second.
Like,
you
it's
know?
still going.
No, everyone's dying in the background, but everyone, and that's Aquaman. Let's kill him.
Do it
but
for the
let's
gram,
not-
man. They're there. They're just like, you know, what would make a sick ass boomerang if we made out right now and the camera spun and there's
then
just
she
fucking
makes
explosions
out.
everywhere.
And
then
bunch
he goes,
of dolphins.
And then he goes, ugh. what was the plan again? And it was like, we did it, guys. We infused just a quick
So he
little
flies up there to
15-minute
fight
comedic beat in the
fucking
middle of this
Ocean
fucking thing.
Master, and they get up there and they start fucking fighting. They got tridents and shit, and they're like,
I don't love this
on
scene.
guard.
Again, to me, the visuals in the movie are just way too chaotic. There's a moment in this where they're fighting and there's these giant spinny things in the background, and it's so hard for your eye to figure out what the fuck's going on. And then the camera's revolving around him and all this stuff. And then,
Not
of
for
course,
Tim. Tim's got new eyes.
Well, Tim's got laser
Dude,
eyes.
and I fucking love this shit.
I love
I just
that.
wish
I
they
also
doubled down
enjoyed
on this
this,
for the
yeah.
entire movie. This movie works best when it's Alita Battle Angel or fucking Speed Racer, and it's just like, it's a goddamn cartoon. We're just going to let it be a cartoon and insane.
Meanwhile,
but that's
they're-
not what 90% of this movie is.
Meanwhile, they're cutting back and forth to fucking Willem Dafoe's character, who's like, use the fucking crane, use the crane move, use the crane move.
No, I
from
think
the
he's
Karate
like,
Kid.
take him on land. That's where he's weakest.
we must watch this.
So they watch it. Everyone's watching it, and then he beats him with the fucking. Oh,
The
hey,
city's
remember that
made.
thing we set up in that stupid flashback? That's the movie's gonna use to beat him.
That makes sense.
Real
And so
talk,
he
I
beats
like
him.
this shit.
And then he won't kill him.
I don't know what you expect from a fight scene like this.
I
know?
like that he didn't kill him.
Yeah,
You know, and then like the little conversation they have.
When you're
where
ready,
he's like-
let's talk.
but he's.
Fuck you.
Did they have this conversation?
No, fuck
oh,
you.
they had this conversation earlier where he was like, "There was a time where I wanted to meet
Yeah,
you."
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, turns out you're a
Little
bitch.
bitch.
Well, now he's like, the mom comes, and he's like, Mom, you're alive?
I'm not mad at him anymore.
And he's like, wait a minute, my entire reason for wanting to take over the entire world has been predicated on the fact that you died because of my brother. Maybe you should have come to me before I killed all these crab people and showed me that you were still alive. Maybe we could have just
They're
avoided
just
this whole
crab
thing.
people.
But she
She couldn't
couldn't
get
do
out. She couldn't get out. She was
was
trying to
stuck.
get out.
But they literally pop up. Arthur kills everyone and then
Oh, I
chooses
see what you're saying.
Oh, God.
to bring the mom in. Like, by the way, you know what it is? It's like bringing the big gun.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman, who's like, I don't know. where
I
I'm
really
at.
do wish her name was Martha. It would have just been
That would've
awesome.
been
That'd be funny as hell.
Oh my god.
And so there we go, guys. Guess what?
Martha.
Aquaman. Everybody's happy,
Martha
right?
Cray.
Like
No,
the ships brought
everyone's
people
not
together.
happy.
This is the thing.
What do
King
I do
Orm's
now?
man.
What do I do now? You have to be their king. Okay.
All right.
Woo! And everyone goes, ah!
This
Yeah.
guy. Fuck.
Because again, the Atlanteans are just blind fucking morons
Right.
who follow whomever. They don't give a shit. Oh, is he gonna take over the land now? Or we're not doing that anymore? What are we doing? What? Why would we care about these people at all? They're just fucking morons that just follow whatever. king
Donald
into whatever
Trump is
battle.
our president, Nick.
I mean, yeah, but we fight
He
against
fucking-
that. My point is, like, we're supposed to think that this, at some point, they're like, oh, this guy's like enslaving our people, but in no way, shape, or form do we think that. This guy's just ambitious and trying to take over he's just trying to be the ocean master.
So Nicole Kidman swims back to Maine. She pops up on the dock, but we don't know that because the fucking Django Fett, he's walking down and he turns like, whoa, and he can't believe what he sees, and then they go down there. And
Well,
they
we had to
make
wrap
big
up the
kissy
A-plot,
kiss.
you know
Oh, I
what
like
I mean?
that. I like that. I'm glad. You know what I mean? Because where it
And
started.
it looks super real. All
It
this
started,
is
so
so
real.
it started with two ships. It ends with two ships. You know, meeting
bad.
in a bedroom. And Aquaman talks a little bit more, and he doesn't quote C.S. Lewis or anybody. And then it's like, cool. Here's some credits. And then the credits go for a little
quote
while.
Iron Man
and
3.
then boom. Guess what, everybody? It's it's Black Manta washing up on a fucking door like Rose, and like Randall Park's out there, and he grabs him and puts him in the boat, and then. When Black Manta starts waking up with one eye, like Randall Park's on the TV, but he's also there as well, like working on the stuff. And then he's like, "What are you doing over there?" And he's like, "This is Atlantean tech, isn't it?" And boom, shoots the whole thing. He's
I
like,
wouldn't do that.
I want you to. And he throws a knife at the fucking. Who is Aquaman? I'm like, we have better photos of Aquaman than this, but it's like he throws it in. He's like, we gotta find. I want to find him.
I think it was literally like an outline of
Yep.
a person with a question mark,
Yeah.
right?
The
Like,
classic,
what?
like.
What?
It's just
Well, they
the-
could have went to the bar and just looked at the pictures on the wall.
Yeah.
It's just like the way that like that in no way gets me excited for anything.
No, oh,
for,
no.
for,
Oh,
for him
no,
to be
no,
like,
no,
blah blah blah. I want him, and you're supposed to be like, whoa, this is cool, and none of it is cool.
It's
None
like
of
at
it is
the
cool.
end of Daredevil when Bullseye wakes up and like the post-credit scene for that, and you're like, why? What was
Yeah.
the point of this?
Give me a little haiku.
7 syllables in the middle. You'll need 5 for the first and last line. If you're not poetic, no need to fret. Haikus don't need to rhyme. Haiku in review. Jason Momoa is real cool.
Gargle my balls.
whoa!
You go to patreon.com
Gargle.
/kind of funny to write your review in haiku form, just like Jimmy T did. Jimmy T just says, oh, God.
Shit.
Jason Momoa made Nick's wife go, hola,
Oh,
Jason Momoa.
He looks really fucking good.
He
in
looks
this movie.
amazing.
I will say that. Him shirtless halfway out is great. Good for him.
Brand says a 6 out of 10, fun but forgettable. Dude, bro, Aquaman. Grant Burton says Django has big teeth. It's absolutely bonkers. Why are they so
those
white?
those are big ass
Chompers.
Yeah, some fake ass What do they call them when they do that?
Veneers.
Porcelain veneers.
Engine 25 says, I want more Manta. He's pointless in this movie, but he's fucking cool.
He's not though. Like I thought he was a lot cooler coming into it, and it's just,
No, like Manta itself is a cool character. It's just not cool here.
yeah.
Mason Hall says, not a bad movie. Some awesome scenes and concepts. Momoa is my man. And finally, B. Sween says, movies, fresh start. New DCEU begins. What was Justice League?
See, that's.
Oh, you poor summer child.
I feel like these were the that. I went into this movie with a lot of that in mind. That like, hey, this is where they got it right, and it's fun, and it's super hilarious, and it's just a fun ride. And I just did not walk out of this movie, or I did not leave my bedroom going, all right, you know.
I did, but just in a bad way. What was your Ragu Bagu?
Ragu. Bagu.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rad Guys Talk Bad Guys, the podcast within a podcast where we rank the DCEU villains. I'm one of your Rad Guys, Greg Miller, alongside the glue, Kevin Coelho,
What's up?
the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hello, everybody.
And Forbes 30, under 30, Flash, Tim Gettys.
Not too much.
Remember, there is no audience participation in this. So far, the rankings of the villains in the DCEU look like this. Number 1, Black Mask / Zaz. Number 2, Zod. Number 3, Rooms Lex. Number 4, Sir Pat. Number 5, Steppenwolf. Number 6, Enchantress and her baby bro. Guys, where do we want to put Ocean Master and
Sir
Black
Pat?
Manta? He's the Wonder Woman villain. Ares.
I'd put this below him, above Steppenwolf.
That is my exact thought as well.
Which puts him where?
That'd be number 5. So it would be number 4, Sir Pat from Wonder Woman. Number 5, these clowns from Aquaman. Number 6, Steppenwolf. Number 7, Enchantress and her baby bro.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't.
Perfect, thank
couldn't
you.
care less. Time to rank the DC Extended Universe. Number 1, Birds of Prey. Number 2, Wonder Woman. Number 3, Batman v Superman. Number 4, Man of Steel. Number 5, Justice League. Number 6, Suicide Squad.
As you know on Ragu, once it goes into the list, that's how it is. So
Yeah,
it's
what is it?
Ocean Master / manga.
Great.
This
Where are we
might be
ranking
the
this, by
most
the way?
difficult ranking of a movie I've ever had in any of the interviews we've ever done.
Super simple. Number 5, above Justice League, below Man of Steel.
I agree.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. And the motion passes.
This is once again one of those ones where I'm like, this is better than Batman v Superman, but
That is
it's not as good
outrageous
as Man of
and a
Steel.
lie.
Actually, you know what? Maybe
right,
I'll
Greg.
take that back. Maybe I think Justice League is better than this.
That is outrageous and a lie.
Because at least Justice League had
These
fun
movies
moments
are
that I
ridiculous.
liked.
I
man.
personally would put it above Batman vs Superman, but I also don't care.
Outrageous and a lie.
Yeah,
Here's the
we
thing,
can all
here's the-
agree it's
here's-
better than Suicide Squad.
One second.
Yes.
One sec- yeah, for sure. I love characters in Batman vs Superman, and I feel like they did him justice in a bad way. You know what I mean?
No, up until you said that they did him
know what
justice
that means.
in a bad way. That's not. You don't do something justice. In a
All right,
bad
all right.
way.
Well,
That is the
They
opposite.
fucked up those characters,
Okay.
and I didn't like it.
You have to
and it
apologize.
hurt.
An injustice.
Martians have a
An
different
injustice. You know? Yeah, that's right.
Justice to them means
I have-
horrible.
I have-
Too many thoughts.
I have makeup going into my eyes, and I've been trying real hard not to let it burn.
This one's hard for me, where I don't know if I like this more or less than Justice League. I just don't know.
Wow.
To me, it's right above Man of Steel because I think Man of Steel is like, it doesn't have like those. Aquaman has like moments, right? It has like, oh, that's charming. Jason Momoa is charming, where it's just like, but the rest of the movie is like very bland and weird, and that's what the entirety of Man of Steel is to me, where it's bland. There's not a lot interesting.
Man of Steel doesn't miss the mark as much as Aquaman does.
I would put, you know what? I would
Fair.
put this above Justice League. Yeah.
Perfect.
Because I'm thinking about how much I actually enjoyed the fight scenes and the colors.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of
And
Aqua
again, yeah.
and purple. You
Oh,
know?
of course, yeah.
The
There's a
action
lot of-
scenes in this are better than in any of the movies, and I feel like Wonder Woman, the thing I liked most about it was the action scenes and Gal Gadot's performance and her chemistry with whatever the hell is it,
Chris
whatever
Pine.
Chris it was. Batman v Superman, super ambitious, but just fucking fucked it up. Man of Steel was just like half good. I don't know. All of the, I just feel like under Birds of Prey, they're all just like whatever. But I do think that Batman v Superman's way too goddamn high. Let's vote. Who thinks better than Suicide Squad? Raise your hand. Who thinks it's better than
Everyone
Justice
raise their
League?
hands.
Raise your
Oh,
hand.
sorry.
Everyone except Nick raise their hand. Who thinks it's better than Man of Steel? Raise their hand. Me and Kev raise our hand. It ends with number 1, Birds of Prey. Number 2, Wonder Woman. Number 3, Batman v Superman. Number 4, Man of Steel. Number 5, Aquaman. Number 6, Justice League. Number 7, Suicide Squad.
I came into this thinking that this movie would be like 1 or 2.
Oh, don't wait. Don't worry, Andy. Next week we're doing Shazam. That's when it actually gets really
Oh, okay, cool.
It's so funny.
Gotcha,
It's such a funny
gotcha.
fucking movie.
Great.
Next week we're
Is
doing
that
Shazam.
sarcasm or not? I don't know. Do you hate
Definitely
sarcasm?
It's
Absolutely.
I like
Hates Shazam.
Aquaman and Shazam are equal to me
Oh, okay.
in terms of my first viewing. I'm just like, all right, good job, guys. We'll see. I hope I'm fucking wrong. Until next week.
All right.